Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
Today's show is also brought to you in part by Brew Swag. And Brew Swag is giving away a free Jaded Hydra Wort Chiller. Jaded Brewing has reimagined what an immersion chiller can do, and the Hydra Wort Chiller can chill your wort down in minutes. Enter to win today at brewswag.com and click on Free Swag. That's brewswag.com and click on Free Swag.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank, mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on cocaine.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
Make some sugary water, throw some yeast in there.
And you're going to drink good beer.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God. Oh, uh-oh.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Welcome, everybody. This is The Session. The month is December. The time, right now.
Exactly, right now.
I'm your host, Jason Petros, and I will be with you through the rest of 2018, and you should really thank me for that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Steer the starship home.
Yeah, that's right.
Bring the shit in.
That's right. Are you calling this show Starship because it's terrible, just like Jefferson Starship, or
it's like a mass? Yeah, it's like this.
No,
because it's out of
part
this
of the
world.
fleet. It's the biggest thing. It's like the center of everything.
Well, if we're going to call it a ship, can we call it Deep Space Nine, because that was probably the best of the Star Trek series?
That's cool.
All right.
Whatever you want, nerd.
Today on the show, we have New Glory Craft Brewery, and they are out of Sacramento, California.
They're neighbors of ours.
That's right. They've been around for a few years, and I'm excited to talk to them. We're going to talk to them about what they do out in Sacramento, which is kind of just everything.
Everything.
Which I thought was neat. You know, we get some people come in here and go, oh, we don't really do flagship beers, but they have 1,000 IPAs. Right, but New Glory does like the pastry stout thing, and they do the cloudy double IPAs, and they do the brute thing. They do a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to talk to them about doing that. So if you're into, I don't know,
beer,
pushing boundaries and trying to figure stuff out, New Glory Craft Brewery, they're going to help you out.
That's what we're doing out here.
That's right. That's what we try to do. We try to help you out. Before we start, though, I want to thank our sponsor of this show and every session, and legitimately most of the shows on the Brewing Network, More Beer.
Oh, great people.
You can go to morebeer.com. Are they, though? Explain why.
They were throwing out the
Chris is an all right guy.
Give me 5 words.
I don't know a bad person there.
Yeah, I do. I'll give you a list. Give me 5 words on More Beer right now. Why they're great. 5 words.
Why they're great?
Mm-hmm. They don't have to be congruent. Just descriptive words, a sentence, whatever you want.
Okay, a list of different words.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Mainly because I don't have the live read in front of me. So. Yeah.
Yeast.
That's 4.
Boil kettles.
That's 6. Too many. I counted as a word, and that's probably not very good.
Okay. No, boil kettles. 5. There you go.
That's right. But they have Viking malt over there at More Beer, which has the the no locks varietal, which does not have the trans 2-nonol, which basically doesn't lend to the cardboard staling oxygenating effects in your beer. So. Look, you should be brewing with that just anyways. But in case you're one of those people like me who's terrible at packaging,
you too can package from your tap.
Be sloppy if
you use this malt.
Yeah, be sloppy. No, I know the malt's great, and the great people over at More Beer, and you should support them because they support us, and you should support us because we support them, and then forever you're in a feedback loop of giving us just money in somehow roundabout fashion.
Or support.
Well, that's true. Speaking of support, I was walking into the studio here from the parking garage in lovely downtown Concord, and maybe I'll direct this at Tasty, but I don't know, because I think maybe he's out of the age range that I'm referring to.
Of walking?
Yeah, he's not very mobile.
Parking in the garage? I park on the sidewalk. I'm a senior citizen. I don't know what I do.
But so I'm walking in and I see these two. Look, it's dark outside. You can't really see a whole lot of detail. But I see these two people, and just from the way that they're dressed, it sounds terrible. They seem like they're in the 54 to 62 range of age.
Just enough light, you can see their attire. Not their
yeah,
Did they have like reflective clothing on so they could be seen?
No, it's just like mom jeans, but like grandma jeans, like the hairstyle. Just I don't know. Just the vibe I picked up.
Okay.
And so they were like standing really close, and then they come in closer for like kiss. They were like making out. So either it was like a first date.
Okay.
Or whatever. But I was basically looking at the style of the kissing, right? Looking at everybody's like approach, and I
if
like.
You can get that good a look, you should be able to tell whether it's first or like we're gonna do the deed in 10 minutes and behind that bush.
Right. Well, so here's my confusion, and I guess my observation is I think people in that age range on dates kiss like they're like going in to just suck out the life essence. Like they're not super aggressive, but they're awkward about it. And so the guy's like they're kissing, and he like grabs her kind of face or whatever, which is weird, and then moves down and is sort of like has like her middle back, and he's like rubbing it. I don't know. It was very odd. I was looking at his technique. It was very odd.
Well, they probably both need oxygen, and so they're swapping it back and forth.
That's probably what I will help you breathe. And so I don't know, Tasty. Is there something as like late middle-aged kissing technique on first to third dates?
I've seen every age group perform that way. I mean, I've seen 25-year-olds like be awkward.
Yeah, you sent me that link. It's weird.
Right, exactly.
I mean, is it just like out of the movies, and it was too close?
No, because in the movies, it's they're everyone's just passionate. This wasn't passion. It was like awkward. I don't know what to do, but I respect you too much to be in contact with you. If that makes any sense.
Also, we're on a sidewalk in Concord.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, man. It was just weird.
I'd have to have a few moments with those people to find out what they're like. I assume it was mostly because they were awkward and they're out there in the middle of the street. Trying to get to second base.
Yeah, but and then they just kind of like separated as I approached because they're not trying to put a show on for free, I imagine. And then they kind of
they seemed aware that people might have been.
Could they tell you were watching them?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had my hand on my pants.
Oh, okay.
It was but it was, and then they kind of separated and then walked on and then continued a conversation. So. Two things struck me. One, they probably have been together for a while, and then their kissing technique is really weird. But two, they stopped in the middle of a conversation to thoroughly make out for 15 seconds on the corner of Grant and Salvio.
Hey, when the
and
mood
it seems
hits.
real weird. Not good for them. It's perverted.
I've actually negotiated for such things. Like when I feel your breasts, like sure. And you think like, well, all of a sudden I started feeling their breasts. I mean, you might have said, "Can I give you a nice deep kiss and like lean you back and rub your back and all that?" She goes, "Sure," and then he did it, and then like they went under their conversation.
It could be the sign of a very long-term relationship. Because
I never
then
thought
something
of
like
that.
that is owed. Like if they lose a bet, it's like, "Hey, I'm calling in that favor."
Can I give you a nice deep kiss?
Yeah, right now.
Have you? Is that a line you've pulled? Thank you, Beth.
Yeah, sometimes I'm.
There's no shame in it.
If I get the peck at the end of the night, before I get the peck, I go, "Can I get a longer kiss tonight?" And they're going, "Sure."
Damn.
Hey.
You know, I don't go for there's no tongue going on. Just a longer kiss. Next time,
I'm going to turn your lungs inside out, but
it never hurts to ask.
Apparently not.
No, do you get if you ask about 50 a week, you're going to get a yes. That's what it's called being single.
Yeah, sir, I'm just here to deliver your mail. I mean, I don't know, man.
One deep kiss before you go.
Yeah, I know I'm late with the mail, but give me a break. Do you get a no? Have you gotten a no with that?
Sure.
Yeah, and is it a respectful no?
Tasty. Come on.
Yeah, and you go like, I'm just kidding. You're like, I'm just kidding. It's whatever. It's fine.
Just sign for this UPS package.
Yeah, just get an HJ at the end of the night. It's fine.
Huh? That's why I don't watch people. You see weird things.
My lips are sealed.
So are hers. Yeah.
So that's what's up, Tasty.
We have some feedback about a What's Up Tasty, dude. Yeah.
I
don't know, man. People watching is
I
cool.
get a theme song. I got to have an intro song, otherwise it ain't happening.
Well, you know, we have to make your own theme song because I just steal the Seinfeld one. I'm sure we're going to get caught for it at some point.
I know a guy. I'll work one up.
Please do.
Yeah.
Actually, just bring a box in. We'll just thump on it.
You play bass. Why don't you just bring your bass in?
It's going to be easier and sound better if we bring a box in and thump on it.
Just hit a box?
Yeah. Because mine will be... And it'll be as awkward as that dude kissing the lady that I saw.
Well, it might be topical.
Yeah, well, he probably needs a topical cream, to be honest with you.
Yeah. The guy have a beer in his hand?
No.
Could have been a beer news if he had.
Well, that's true. That's true.
This show has some relevance, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of beer news, and I thought about reading some of it, and then I just don't have time to do it
Things are
anymore.
happening before the end of the year.
Seemed like there was some follow-ups. Like we did some beer news and something, and then we found out more about it. I don't know. Seemed like there were a couple of things I remember us having.
Well,
and there was more information that came later that kind
Trillium
of
did raise
possible.
the hourly rate back.
Yeah, no, I read that in the thing.
Yeah.
It happened. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
we can close that up. Yeah.
Let's do some beer news real quick. I know Deschutes laid off 10% of their workforce.
Right. I saw an article that said 7, so who knows what.
I mean,
what
you sent me the one that was 10. I read another one that was 10, so I'm going to go with 2 confirmed. But craft beer, dude.
Yeah, they weren't meeting their sales goals, and of course they're probably looking at the balance sheet like, oh, we're not making money anymore. I mean, it's more than just not meeting our sales goals.
Right.
Because if they weren't meeting our sales goals, if they were making good money, they go like, oh, great, things are going pretty good.
Well, right.
We'll worry about the goals later. No, the cash flow probably came into play.
And when the growth is tapering off, breweries their size are going to be hit the hardest.
The volume producers.
Right. And I even heard that they're pushing back their expansion on the East Coast, at least pushing back the date.
They're not going to break ground on it.
Yeah.
Oh, they were doing a brewery on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was supposed to get started, I think, this summer.
Jeez.
But now it's kind of, we'll see.
Yeah. And 2 years ago, that'd be a good idea.
Right.
Today it's not.
Yeah.
What a change, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And, I don't know why. I guess today's beer drinker doesn't care about the shoots.
Well, I've said this many times on the podcast. It's the rotating tap model.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see the shoots on here on three taps in a month. They're old school. People have had the shoots all over the place. You're going to find some really hazy beer that's really aspirin-y that sucks.
Oh, my God. He just reminded me.
Of you need aspirin?
We got a hazy beer. Warren and I were like, oh, what do you want to drink? Oh, let's drink this thing.
Let's have
I won't even tell the style, but we'll drink this thing.
Let's have a beer.
Yeah, let's have a beer, as people are wanting to do in this day and age. And so we get a beer, and it's cloudy. Doesn't say cloudy on the menu at all.
No.
Doesn't say cloudy. And it's not supposed to be. That's the category. It's not supposed to be cloudy beer.
Right.
And the aftertaste was very bitter and very aspirin-y. And I took one sip, and I'm like, I refuse to. I cannot drink this. I can't do it. I set it back.
And supposedly it was only a 24 to 29 IBU beer.
Yeah.
But it tasted like a IPA, almost double IPA.
Yeah,
in
it
terms
was
of harshness and bitterness.
It just kept growing. It was not good.
No.
It was not what you call a good beer.
Anyway, that was one of the beers on the rotating taps here, and obviously rotated in your mouth and in the glass,
and then down the drain.
And down the drain.
Yeah.
It was a dumper for these guys.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the problem with Deschutes is one of those like larger breweries that You can't get large and have big tanks and make a variety of beers.
Right.
You got to put a lot of beer in the big tank.
Mm-hmm.
You got all your core brand kind of company, and if you don't get the shelf space at retail, where those are typically sold well, then you're into the rotating tap model, and it's hard to rotate with you only got 8 beers and they're the same beers all the time.
Well, and that's going to change also. I mean, Sierra Nevada was doing that at their pub for a long time, and then they were like, hey, now's the time in the space where we can bottle this and sell all this stuff, which is cool. I mean, I don't know what the business model to Shoots, but
now there's the number of breweries that are popping up in large cities all over the U.S. is going up faster than anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and Deschutes not being local, I imagine it's having an even harder time getting their beer moving in those big beer markets because they're fighting tons of local breweries. That are a lot easier.
And those new local breweries are probably 1,000 barrels or less a year.
Right.
And what do they do? They're a small brewery. They can make 15 different beers a month. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing. They're satisfying the rotating tap rooms. They're the guys.
Beer drinkers are killing beer, dude.
There's some element of that.
Right.
And it's funny because Warren and I, on the unreleased Heads and Tails, we were talking about that same concept in spirits, where you're not as like tied into styles. You know, if you're drinking a pale ale, you know what to expect. If you ask for a pale ale, you know what to expect. You don't expect it to taste like aspirin and be cloudy.
Right.
But if you drink a gin, it could be juniper forward or rose petal or whatever, caraway forward. It doesn't matter. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, it's still a gin, but it's like funky. And I don't know why the difference. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
Right. Pale ale used to mean something. I mean, just like gin used to, and now it kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
But are there diehard people who are anti-gin movement because these weird new people are going, you know what I should do?
Yeah, I think they're called British people.
Well, yeah, but the British are weird anyway, too.
Yeah, there's that.
What are you going to do? Let's do some feedback today, huh, boys?
Yeah.
All right. Feedback today is brought to you by the Beer Law Center. You know, I got a very lovely Christmas card from John at Beer Law Center.
Was it a cease and desist Christmas card?
It was like, please don't say Christmas ever again. It's a war on Christmas, but in card form.
Yeah.
So it's providing jobs to the Postal Service, but at the same time taking away my freedoms. And I appreciate that.
That's a fair trade.
Yeah. Chris Berger. Now I'm hungry. Chris Berger writes, the title of this is Dave Malalava's May Show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He says, sorry this is a little dated, but I only started listening a few months ago, and I just got through all of the iTunes archived sessions.
Just now?
So in a few months, he's listened to all of the shows that are on iTunes.
13 years worth. Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, you're not even on, are you? But yeah, you're on. You should have your microphone on.
That wasn't supposed to be heard by anybody other than myself. I'm just impressed at how much that guy has listened.
You're like the studio audience.
Yeah. One of the shows that stuck out the most was with Dave Marliev about distribution, franchise laws, and the death of craft beer.
I missed that show.
I thought that show had great content, as have some of the other shows airing industry practices and hardships. Hearing it straight from the mouth of a dedicated industry professional makes the information hit harder. Dave said he had a lot of other brewers coming out and applauding him for taking a stance and airing his grievances. That's true. Dave will actually sent me screenshots of text message or emails from other brewers, hiding the name, but like people loved this topic. We should do it again.
Yeah,
I heard it was great.
Would you ever consider doing a dedicated Brewers Roundtable show with Dave and some others that feel the same way, who would be willing to share more of industry dirty laundry and their experiences with big beer practices on trying to strangle craft? Thanks, Chris. I'll do whatever you want, Chris.
That's interesting stuff. I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I think part of the problem is nobody really wants to have that talk. Like, Dave is kind of a weird dude in general, but I don't think you're going to find that many people out there willing to have that conversation on record.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes they can't. Like, there were some things that Dave couldn't talk about, even with their resolution. So it does kind of get tricky when you get to run into the wall of,
people
we can't talk about that.
Still in the business. We need to get people that are left the business.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot. Look,
like
man.
Ongoing Republicans. I'm very honest.
Oh, like Tony McGee?
Yeah, right.
Tony would tell us no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't think he would. I think he's having too much fun spending his money that we propped him up with.
He's walking on. Careful. He's got to be careful. He's a big guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
He has every word. So.
Yeah. Well, what he should do is go through and delete all his old tweets. Because
we should all do that.
People are digging them up, man, and they're just throwing them back in his face because it's very like anti-big beer, anti-sellout, pro-craft, pro-do what you want, and then now suddenly, oh, well, everyone deserves to get paid.
Yeah.
Right.
Same.
A lot of irony there, for sure.
Yeah.
This next one, and the last one, actually, is from Aaron. He says, hey, guys, I just want to tell you how awesome last week's episode was, especially since one of the owners showed up in a taco outfit. That was the Hidden Mother Brewery.
It was a great taco costume.
It was good. And, I wanted to hook them and Dave, honestly, up from Flat Tail because I think, like,
they think alike.
No two, like, brewers kind of coalesce and like, have the same, like, mental wavelength, irregular wavelength pattern as those two people.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
JP and I were talking about it, and I was just like, how amazing would it be if they just hated each other? They just didn't get along at all.
Like, God, this guy rubs me the wrong way. It's like, yeah, because he's you, but shorter. Yeah. Or he's you, but profitable, I guess is what I should say.
I'd be scared of what beer they would come up with.
I know, right? I'm like, dude, they're doing pink peppercorns. You've already done pink peppercorns. Like, he goes, tree beer. I can get with that. I'm like, you should. And then they didn't have time to stop on their way up. I was talking to Mike on the email. And Dave goes, oh, so now I'm not cool enough? It's like already offended. I'm like, no. I mean, yes, but...
Yeah, you never were.
Anyway, he said the show was full of laughs and super awesome humor, but lacked a What's Up Tasty segment.
Oh. It's not a regular segment. I don't have a theme song. There's no theme. If you don't have anything to roll into.
What kind of theme song do you want, though?
I don't know.
You had that tasty song.
But I need it should be a little bit of music.
Yeah.
And then let's just say a really nice sounding female voice goes, what's up, Tasty? Not you.
A real nice sounding music.
I don't want you saying what's up, Tasty.
No?
What's up, Tasty?
You don't.
Well, you're on the.
Oh, I could say it.
I'm making more in the producer of that segment.
Oh, shit.
That'll clip.
All right, here we go.
He gets it. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I didn't look, man. I didn't know.
Hey, believe me, we're going to be on this thing for a while.
Yeah.
Work it up. We'll do it next time.
All right. We've got 3 weeks.
I mean,
I've got it in my contract.
Well, all right. How about this?
I do have a what's up.
Is this a What's Up Tasty?
All right, here we go. Okay, yeah, just go ahead.
No.
Bring it in. No. It's not like I want to go to the stage.
No, this is like
I'm going to read you a story today.
This is like Cher's new song.
This is like What's Up Tasty at 6 o'clock tonight.
Play the intro to like Hell's Bells. That's what I want.
Well, I'm trying to find like things we can actually play.
Oh, but not having to pay money.
Yeah. That's not good. How about this one?
Okay, I'll have my guy.
Here we go. And now, from the Concord Brewing Network studio, from the mind of a legend, What's Up, Tasty?
That's not an attractive female voice.
Thanks for having me on, JP. Thanks for that. It's a great intro there.
And now, What's Up, Tasty?
Who's doing that organ thing?
That's awful.
Hey, I'm a little, I had a little trouble with this later start time.
Yeah.
Just like about, on Monday night about 5:45, 6 o'clock, I'm going to start drinking beer. I mean, that's what I do, right? So I got this extra hour in before I get here. You might be able to tell how I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But I've already got quite a bit of beer in me already.
Okay.
So I just want to say that that's the problem with the 7 o'clock start.
Okay.
Right.
But whatever, just expect that. I'll slow my roll here, and I won't embarrass myself, or hopefully you.
Tasty's coming in hot tonight.
I'm coming in a high roll. I'm coming in segment 3 kind of mode. I'm in like third segment mode.
Damn, dude! Third puff on the pin. Is that What's Up Tasty, or is that
that's What's Up Tasty?
That's What's Up Tasty.
Roll
All
that
right.
thing, roll back up. There you go. Next time.
What is this, Lincoln Park?
Can I do a live read now?
Bang, bang, diggy, diggy. Anyway, there you go. All right, that's What's Up Tasty.
Hey, you got it, feedback.
Get you next week.
It's true. Aaron goes on to say he's having some 2-1A Tasty IP in Colorado, and it's really good, and he's bought some.
Good.
So that's it. That's feedback, dude. Brought to you by Beer Law Center.
Great.
John over there works hard to protect our trademark, our logo, and he will do the same for you. So if you have anything you want to protect, Put it in John's very callus-free and bow-tied hands, please.
Yeah, I want
let's talk about the AHA real fast. If you want to use a promo code BN2018 but don't have a website to actually use that code on, well, I'll tell you what. You can go to the AHA website. You can use code BN2018 at checkout, and you will get a free copy of both Wild Brews and Farmhouse Ales when you renew or sign up your membership through the AHA. Or you can hit the copy on our link, and it's fine too. But go on our page, rather. Go hit the link on our page, not the copy on our link.
TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Thank you very much. But anyway, join the AHA. You get a free copy of both Wild Brews and Farmhouse Ales. And as Tasty points out, because I always forget, you can just renew too. So if you already have joined, you're going to have to renew at some point. You might as well get 2 really good free books. And I remember when those books came out, man, I have them both.
They're both good books, too.
They're amazing.
Mine was up in February, so I went ahead and did it through our link.
There you go.
Hell yeah, dude. And you got 2 free books coming at you.
You
so
bet I did.
I guess now I know what Tasty's going to get for Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you two.
You regifter.
Yeah. 2 books for 2 guys.
Damn, dude. I would watch that show. On Freeform. 2 books for 2 guys coming up next.
Just watch 2 guys read.
Hey, man. I've seen worse. Do we have a Twitter game, Warren?
Yes.
All right. What's our Twitter game?
I don't know if you know this, but 2018 is coming to a close here.
You mean 2018?
Yeah, that also.
Okay.
And since it's the end of the year, I feel like in an effort to make ourselves better for 2019.
2019.
Right. That's next year.
Right.
We need to come up with what we learned this year. So what is something that we learned?
Ooh, okay.
A little retrospective. Hopefully we learned something. Otherwise, we weren't paying attention all year.
So what did the podcasters learn this year? What did we do differently? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I didn't ask to change. I just wanted to know what should we take away from 2018?
Oh.
Okay. As we close out 2018, tell us what we have learned this year.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Let me hashtag this motherfucker right now. I like it, Warren. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my level, but
Well, maybe I can get better in 2019.
Maybe
we'll see.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you learned, but off the air.
Okay.
All right, so that's on Twitter. So if you're listening live, and honestly, why wouldn't you be? Go to the Brewing Network. Go to twitter.com/the Brewing Network. I guess is how that works, or Brewing Network, or whatever.
At the Brewing Network.
At us. At me.
Isn't that how Twitter works?
Yeah, you can at me. I don't know. I don't understand.
Enter, you win a shirt. I think they're mostly 3 X's. But.
You fat jerks.
We know our audience.
Right. I think that's it for the first segment. I'm just looking through my paperwork because I got a lot of paperwork.
Wow. Hosts get all the paperwork.
Here we go. Let's talk White Labs real fast. On our way out, let me do this. God, I'm so flustered, man. I'm, just like Tasty. The later hour screws me over, but I didn't even get in the studio till 45 minutes before showtime. I can't. I can't get here any earlier than that sometimes, and
that's a lot of time to prep.
You got a full-time day job. Is what you.
I do, man. It sucks.
That's what's different.
Yeah, this week.
You're on duty all the time.
Dude, this kid, man, she's killing me. She's killing me with the teeth, man. But I put her. My cousin got her an Adidas tracksuit.
Cute.
But at 6 months, but it's like a 12-month tracksuit. I could probably fit in it. And so finally today I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm going to put her in this tracksuit. And I cuffed every thing I could. And she looks amazing. She just needs a gold chain and and a flat billed cap, and she could, I don't know, do anything.
She could rule the neighborhood.
Drive a Ford Fiesta.
Nice.
Take her out to the playground.
Teach her. This is called bullying. Right. I want you to be really good at it because, I ain't trying to pay for your lunches. You got to get your own money somehow.
This is how you stomp the yard.
Pure liquid yeast means better beers. We all know that. White Labs boasts the highest concentration of yeast in the industry thanks to their patented flex cell technology and pure pitch packaging. The yeast contained and delivered using these innovations are propagated in all grain wort, providing the perfect nutrients for growth and optimal performance. With White Labs' pure liquid yeast, your finished beers will meet the high-quality flavor profiles that you intend to produce. Discover the White Labs difference. Visit whitelabs.com/yeastbank to find the perfect strain for your next beer. What do you think of that, boys? good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. White Labs is great.
Hell yeah, bros. Hell yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, everybody. Then we're going to come back. We're going to talk to Kyle and Trevor from New Glory Craft Brewery right here in Northern California, Sacramento area.
Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
And I just totally screwed up the exit, so I'm just going to make it worse. All right.
First Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch
Do
out!
you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Hey, motherfuckers, this is Doug from fucking Society. You're listening to the session on the fucking Brewing Network. Fuck you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging on. We have the boys here from New Glory, but before that, I want to tell you about Great Fermentations. They have the largest catalog of Blickman products on the web, and their staff is some of the best trained in the business in using those products. They offer top-notch customer service, same-day shipping on many items. Check them out, greatfermentations.com. They're also on this thing called the Eintar knot.
The
I think.
Einturned.
Yeah, is that how it's like? It's Norwegian.
Yeah.
Well, but if you're on the Einturned, you can go GR8 Fermentation. You can find them all over Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. All right, we did it. We covered it. Wait, hold on. I got to put this over here. So I know I've done it, boys.
You still have so much paperwork over there.
I have so much, but you know what? I like paperwork. I like paper. All right, guys. Kyle and Trevor from New Glory Craft Brewery. What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Get that microphone right, uncomfortably close.
Does it have to be like really?
It really does. It has to be uncomfortably close. Yeah, yeah. See, like you're not even close enough.
I'm like making out with every
there we go.
person who's had this microphone before.
There
You'll
we go.
like yourself better if you get.
Are you sure it's not Corey and Trevor here with us in the studio?
Whoa!
Deep cuts.
Hateful.
Deep cuts. I mean, they are Alien and Twiggy, so it's fine. But Kyle and Trevor, what's up? New Glory Craft Brewery.
What's up?
How long you guys been here? Because I think you've been here for like 12 hours already.
Oh, God. Yeah, we got here pretty early. We just wanted to not hit traffic.
Yeah.
And we kind of overshot. Yeah, we've been around for a while. Here for a couple hours. It's been done.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, free beer, dude. Why not?
No, absolutely. And then we actually, before we came here, we stopped by Ool for one very, very quick beer.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Very quick. Yeah.
That's why it was one.
Yeah.
Just the one. That's all we
It
could
was
afford.
it was either make a car payment or
Right.
buy 12 ounces of
And
a beer.
then sat in like 30 minutes of traffic just to get back here. But
yeah, that wasn't smart at that. Yeah, basically you don't come up this way from Walnut Creek after like 2:30, dude.
We saw that when we were driving there too, and we were like, "Oh no, what a mistake! This is a bad idea."
Yeah,
we were almost there basically at that point, so we just had to do it.
You got to do it. You got to do it. All right, so New Glory Craft Brewery. How long have you guys been around?
Going on 6 years. Coming up on 6 years.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Always in Sacramento, I imagine,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now in Granite Bay.
We have also in Granite Bay.
Okay, where is Granite Bay? My nephew's from Granite Bay, and I don't even know where that is.
30 minutes from
you should know that.
Sacramento.
Yeah, I'm not a very good family member.
Is that in the Delta or something?
He's not a very good nephew.
No, it's north of it's what is it, like east of Roseville? So north of Sacramento. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
30 minutes north of Sacramento was totally appropriate too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need the GPS.
See? Yeah, absolutely. That's
So what's
Get
Granite
that
Bay?
for me
Is that
by the
like
end
an
of the
underserved area, or you got an uncle there that wants to have a bar?
Why are we in Granite Bay?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's just because like the spot opened up really fast. We wanted to open up a second location, and the actual spot, they're like, "Oh yeah, this place opened, and we'll give you a really good deal."
Good enough reason for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
That
deal.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. It seemed kind of.
Is that open yet, or it's opening?
It is open. We've been open for 2 months, Trevor. 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's a full restaurant, and so we have kind of like a split spot where it's like restaurant, half tasting room. So you can go in there, kind of have just beer and beer to go, or have a full restaurant sit-down experience, kind of a little bit of both in one location.
So you're kind of mixing the two, in my mind, like the kind of old school bar and brewery
like
and the new
pub,
school,
But we don't actually have a brewery up there, so it's just like a fake.
Yeah.
It's not really a fake. We don't like sell it that way.
It's your tap room, though.
Yeah, but it's a tap room and restaurant.
Yeah.
So we call it a tap room and eatery because that seems.
I wouldn't apologize for that.
I like to eat her.
Yeah, we all eat, right? So
That's true. Well, some of us, I photosynthesize, but
we don't restaurant. None of us restaurant. We all eat.
well, you rest in the thing.
Although restaurantery has a ring game.
If I rolled in there on a Wednesday afternoon about 5, how many beers would you have on tap there?
We typically have.
Why 5? Why not 2 or 1 or Thursday
I've been in
afternoon?
bars at 5.
So that's.
I have calibrated.
He knows.
Calibrated.
Tasty's like literally just like he wants.
I've
to
been in
know
a lot of
the
bars,
answer.
I think what's happening is Tasty's 2 steps ahead of every question he asks, so it's going to lead to something. In about 6 months, he's going to be like, you told me.
I asked 2 questions.
I happen now to be here at 5. It's a coincidence.
Yeah, it just happens to be. I told you 2 months ago this was going to happen.
So you
said these beers would be on.
Did you say 8, by the way?
Yeah, no. We actually have
probably about 22,
24,
23, 23 beers on.
So we have 24 total taps. Most of them made by us. We bring on collab beers that we've done at other locations.
But everything's made at your brewery.
Yeah, so it's mostly all of our beer. I think we have like a cider on. We try to keep around that obviously we do not make. Yeah.
Oh, because you can have food, you can bring it on.
Yeah, with a bona fide eating establishment, we can bring that on. And then we try to keep it all our beer as kind of like an ancillary tap room, but also when we do a collab outside of our own brewery, we try to bring those beers in. It kind of makes sense.
So we just did Pete's Port Novo, Brazil.
Yeah,
so we brought in a
so we have
collab
those
of
beers
each.
come out. So we're selling those by the pint.
Yeah.
Cool, that sounds good. So it sounds like the Sacramento market's taken to you guys, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
it's
good
stuff.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah.
No, in that Granite Bay location, the beer drinkers, are they savvy? Are they crafty? Are you bringing them
I'll let Trevor handle that. I don't know.
Isn't Granite Bay kind of like the Walnut Creek of the Sacramento area?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it's a little higher income.
Yeah, it's higher income. I think
a lot of Nordstrom shoppers, I imagine.
We're kind of sandwiched around
Teslas.
a lot of really, really high-end restaurants.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the actual customers that we get are actually kind of happy to have
lowbrow, is that what you're going to say? Okay.
Well, there you go. I mean,
they want to be
I'm not just biased. Our food is good, but it's not Hawks.
Yeah.
Like it is not a 3-star sit down.
We do
you got to wear a
pizza.
suit.
I mean, we do
pizzas.
Yeah, we do pizza.
Something you don't have to like think about. You know what might be good there is that Dick's. You ever heard of that Dick's restaurant where like the waiters insult you? Like that's part of the experience.
You just want to say Dick's on it.
Where they like, oh wow, you look like a piece of shit. Do you want the mozzarella sticks?
That's why I don't have a job there.
I think that would be great.
That's why I'm not allowed to work there. Because that's what I did to all the customers. And they said, Kyle, you're not allowed to be back there. You can't insult the customers like that. get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, so they don't. So yeah, they don't want something super lowbrow,
Exactly.
but it's not like you said, a nice
Fine
thing
dining,
where you
yeah,
have
it's
to
not
think
fine
about the
dining.
menu and go, oh well, what does this pair with? You just go, give me a fucking
It's
pizza and
where
like
you
12
can
beers.
comfortably bring a family.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, a soccer team. I don't know.
Any
For lack of a better word. Any pizza and burgers and stuff.
Wow,
But,
huge insult to football teams,
Deluxe
dude.
burger.
Yeah.
Football teams. Yeah.
Deluxe.
Also, any type of sport. Any type of sport. Bring them by.
You're a group.
Do you like sports?
Oh, huge insult to chess teams.
We
Jesus
like you.
Christ.
Do you like sports? We like you. Come on by.
What about dogs? Are you one of those dog-friendly people?
Dex. Oh, I like.
Really?
I love Dex. I love Dex.
That's too bad. I'll never go there.
So are you guys dog friendly? Do you have a patio?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Good question.
Yes, we actually are.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that is. I guess you have to have that nowadays, right?
Yeah, we actually do have a
dogs are
surprisingly
extensions
big
of people's
back
families
patio,
these days.
yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. I guess.
Yeah.
So, what kind of beers? I was looking through your website a little bit because, look, let's be honest.
The website is old.
The notes that you guys sent were just there's no information.
Sorry.
So you
That
guys
was Trevor's fault.
I mean, just
what are you going to give him? Like
no, an F, but an F, but an F plus. I give him an F plus.
I'll raise my hand on that
That's
one.
me.
I told Trevor I was too busy and I didn't have time. So I was like, Trevor, can you please write something up? And he's like, oh sure, no problem. And he's like, 5 minutes later, he's like, dude, banged it out, nailed it, they got it. And now F.
Yeah, I think 3 out of 5 questions were left unanswered.
You know what? I'm not even going to lie. I was so impressed at how fast I got it back. I was like, wow. Nobody ever gets this back to me this
That's
fast.
my doing. Thank you.
One of my brewers, Daniel McCrae, shout out, he had to go home sick. He threw out his shoulder a little bit. So I was like, I don't have time for any
That's
of
not
this.
sick. That's injured. That's also workers' comp. So
No, he's
we don't talk about that.
shout out to Daniel.
It happened outside of work. It happened outside of work. Everything is fine. He just happened to show up with a bum shoulder. So yeah, he had to go home.
I had that too when I got hit by that forklift at the brewery.
Right.
Yeah.
To limp into work, Dak.
No, that happened. Don't worry about it. Okay, so what were you saying?
I don't know what were we talking about.
I don't remember.
They were talking about your incomplete information.
Incomplete information.
How bad everything was. It was pretty bad.
F plus.
Okay, well, I don't even know what we said. Trevor, what did we say?
Probably not the best.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What do you want to talk about? Question mark.
Yeah. Whatever you guys want is the answer. Like, God damn it.
No, we want an open forum. Is basically what it is.
We wanted to start from the bottom. So.
Well, you're here.
Sorry for
No, so I was on your website. I was on your website. I got it. Don't worry, guys. I got it. It's all handled. Yeah.
He's a pro.
No, I was on your website, and you were talking about not being these people who want a flagship.
Yeah.
Beer and why not? I still feel like that's a viable option, but maybe not in this kind of drinking climate.
I mean, I don't know. It's as someone who tries to create. It's really like freeing to be like, hey, like we don't need to supply a core brand. Like we only have like 2. You're pointing your finger at me. Do you like?
So,
you want to say something?
okay.
Go,
so
Trevor,
He's actually pointing all of them at you.
Yeah. You got it.
You got it.
We've tried. We've tried the whole, let's make every flagship in the world, and it doesn't work. We want to make things that are exciting for people. Okay. So we've tried, and I think that we've tried things in the past. They move on, and this
Get
guy,
right on that.
Get up on that mic.
This
on that
guy,
mic, Trevor.
this guy's gonna, we make things that are exciting to people, and I think that's more what's more important. Yeah.
Okay.
So we find that. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to ask. So, is it all one-offs? You guys don't rebrew anything?
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, like it's. I think really now.
That's the thing, right?
I came on about a year and a half ago now. Yeah. And
Kyle, you're the brewer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and we wanted to kind of build a new kind of playbook, as we call it. We have about like 20 or 30 beers that we want to kind of bring around kind of rotationally, but we also. If we're not coming out with at least one new beer a week, whether it ever comes back again or not, we're not doing it right. So our minimum is always one new beer a week.
What do you mean you're not doing it right? What are you basing that on? Like sales numbers inside, or just your ethos?
Culture, ethos is a great way of putting it. Like I like.
It's the Greek way of putting it.
Yeah, we there you go. I like trying to be as creative as possible. Whether it's just I know like everyone's kind of burnt out on IPAs, but they sell. So even doing IPA differently, doing a new IPA in a style that we've never done before, or with a hop character we've never done before, playing with new hops. We've just got a lot of Slovenian hops, the Styrian hop varietals that are coming in as aromas. We've brought a lot of those in just to try to play with new things. And so even as simple as IPA, quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes, we want to do it differently, even if it's a new beer that maybe it's a failure, maybe no one likes it, or maybe we're not happy with it.
Does that happen?
Try new things.
Have you brewed an IPA that people are like, this doesn't really hit for me?
No, honestly,
I can't imagine that exists.
I don't think customers have said that, but there's been some IPAs. I'm looking at Trevor right now, pretty hardcore. I don't know that there's some IPAs we've made that brewers were happy enough that we would never bring back. Because we didn't want to drink them. They weren't flawed, and we just weren't happy with them. And as brewers, like, I didn't want any of my brewers to be like unhappy with any beer they're making, and none of us liked it.
I mean, if you don't want to get into too much detail, that's fine. But what about an IPA makes you go, I don't like it enough to do it again, or I'm not proud of it, or whatever.
It's hazy.
Please don't give me that shit. You guys are in 3-piece handmade suits. Hazy's working fine for you guys.
I mean, we obviously benefit a lot from hazies.
Yeah.
I think that usually using hop combinations that were kind of like gambles, be like, hey, I remember we came up with a couple of beers, I can't remember what the names were. They were like, hey, this is let's try to do this. It's almost like it's a hubris. We're like, I can make this work, and we're like, oh, that's terrible.
Side is a good example, though.
Like, I'm not a good enough brewer to make that work, and it didn't work.
No,
very well.
yeah.
So
okay,
what were you going to say about Psyched?
I was going to say, Mosaic Caramel Tamale. It's like it's kind of that thing. It's like
that was a weird beer.
It's a weird combination.
We liked the acronym of MAD, and we thought it'd be great. And then we didn't know if it would ever catch on, and it kind of did a little bit. And so now we make that beer.
But was that something you didn't like?
In the rotation, then?
Was that something you guys didn't like at first?
Well, I think honestly, to be honest, the first beer we did with Denali was even Denali Bro, and it was pretty bad. It was rough. It was like none of the brewers were happy. The customers really weren't happy.
Just a lot of juicy fruit.
It was, Denali is kind of known for that juicy fruit character, but when you use it by itself with nothing to back it up, it's just kind of this weird. Dirt. It's like weed and Starburst dragged through the dirt. It doesn't taste very good.
Okay, all right.
And so we did Psyched. It's Mosaic Amarillo with Denali backing, and we were really happy with that. But that was another beer that no brewer thought that beer was going to turn out well. Like we were all like, oh yeah, we already tasted Denali.
It's not going to go well.
Hop is garbage. Why are we using it? I was just trying to get rid of Denali. And I was like, no, I think we can actually figure this out.
So, how did you convince everybody that was okay? Or does it even matter? You just kind of have free reign to do whatever you want.
It's
which is what it sounds like.
Yeah, we kind of have free reign to do anything once, right? Like, you get free reign to do anything once, and when it fails, you lose.
You lose.
The leash gets
tighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I feel really fortunate to be at New Glory, and really the ownership, who actually really cares about beer, is really comfortable letting me explore, and sometimes things go wrong. I mean, like Trevor and I were just talking about, we had a couple of Belgian beers. They were legitimate Belgian beers that weren't good enough, and we sent them down the drain. They weren't clean beers that went Belgian.
Yeah.
They were not good enough. We tried
on purpose.
Belgian, and they went down the drain.
Well, when you live on the edge, sometimes you're going to go over the edge.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we sent them down the drain, and that's
your philosophy. Is
we're never going to put out
big beers.
We're going to try not to.
Honestly, the most recent one was a Belgian Pale Ale, and I passed the beer around to all the brewers, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay," and that's never a good sign, right?
Right.
It's like, "Oh, it's okay." And I was like, well, would you pay for a pint of that? And they're like, no way. I'm like, all right, it's going down the drain. Like, if you're not going to pay for it, why the hell, or like even drink it for free, why would I ask anyone to ever pay for it? So I think that's always kind of our ruling ethos or whatever. It's just like, make beers that suck and dump any beer that does.
Great.
If it sucks, dump it down the drain.
What's your brew house size? When you say dump,
So we have a 15-barrel system. So these 2 beers were 15-barrel batches, but we do 15s into 45-barrel tanks.
All right.
So we're on track to do what, 6,200 barrels this year.
Yep.
Damn.
Wow. So we do 3 turns a day, 4 days a week, and then the Friday or Monday, like the bookend days, are either cleaning or like 15-barrel batches, are fun experimental.
Some
beers.
exception.
Yeah. So most of our days we're doing triple batches, 5 a.m. starts. With our 15, just turning it over and over and over again. Just trying to.
You run 2 shifts of brewers in?
3 shifts. Yeah.
3 shifts.
Yeah. We try not to overwork anybody.
Yeah, so you got a lot of...
Yeah.
That's unusual in this industry.
I know, yeah. Well, I think the funny thing is that I come from a brewing background, obviously, and the ownership does too. So we're trying not to burn anyone out. We want long-term employees, and we offer benefits, even as small as we are. We offer medical benefits. We're working on retirement right now. And we just want everyone to know that, like, we want to keep you around long term.
Excellent.
So
6,200 barrels. Okay.
And
we work them hard though, but we want them to stick around.
Yeah, sure.
That seems like not the
norm.
Not the norm in the industry to like Warren said, not to burn out your employees, but to also treat them well and pay them well.
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of us, like myself specifically, came from like not very well paid breweries, and where I'm just like, I'm just making beer. Like I'm just like lucky to have a job, basically. And I don't think any of us want that. I mean, I it's so hard to replace a brewer. Like especially now in modern days climate, like it's so hard to replace someone who really knows how to make wort very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard, and I don't think, honestly, just for my own hiring, I don't want to have to replace any more brewers there, and it's hard to replace them. It just gives me a headache. I'd rather just pay someone better and just like not.
Oh yeah, they're like puppies. You get attached too.
There we go. Yeah.
A good brewer's like a puppy.
Yeah,
there we go.
They shit in the corner, but until you beat them hard enough,
Nailed it. Yeah.
When they throw up, they eat it. Also,
that's totally fine. Yeah. You throwing up beers. We do have a beer in front of us because you guys brought a ton of beer, and we have some on tap also. But this is one that you guys said that we should start with first.
Yeah.
So what is this beer? Take us through this. And
do you want me to take it?
We'll
go ahead.
I mean, okay. So this beer kind of predates me. This is a Wakey Wakey, our coffee porter. I think this is probably actually one of the, the only beer I haven't touched since coming on. It was already, in my opinion, perfect. I think the only thing I changed about was changing coffee roasters. So big shout out to Valiant Roasting out of Lincoln, and they have a coffee house, Fourscore in Lincoln.
Fourscore. No, in Roseville.
Sorry, I said that backwards, I think.
Roseville.
Yeah, so they're great, and they give us all of our. They work really closely with us to get our coffee fresh ground the day right before we add it to the beer. So. This is a lot of Guatemalan and Mexican coffee, single origin, fair trade, and then just like a really base 6.5%, 6-8% porter recipe with coffee and then vanilla added.
Vanilla added?
Yeah, the vanilla is really big up, like, right up front. I definitely got that. But as I drink it, it just kind of goes away.
Yeah. I think that's probably the only one thing I changed. I wanted to up the vanilla, and I think Julian, the owner, who is also a brewer, kind of wanted more vanilla.
Yeah,
so it's almost like a vanilla porter with coffee, which is kind of what we want, even though it's not really how we brand it. But it's really basically a vanilla porter.
Okay. In the aroma, I think the vanilla. I wouldn't know there was vanilla in there. I don't get the vanilla in the aroma, but I think it does prop up the coffee and give that kind of, because the Guatemalan beans and the Mexican. To me, those don't have a lot of depth in the nose, just kind of in general. They're kind of lighter, and I think that vanilla provides that.
Yeah. So we wanted with that blend specifically, they work with Valiant, that we wanted that. Like kind of deep, rich, dark chocolate, and just a very hint of nuttiness instead of like a big floral or nutty note that some of these newer coffee origins can bring.
Yeah.
So we wanted just like that classic kind of, basic B coffee. We specifically wanted that. I wanted chocolate and coffee to come through.
How'd you guys add the coffee?
Oh, so we do like a cold brew style. So we'll brew this beer out, completely ferment it, let it relax under pressure, and then we cold crash it to about 40 degrees, just like you would make a cold brew coffee in your fridge. And then we add 2 pounds per barrel of coarse ground coffee in bags. I think we get a lot higher extract if we didn't use bags, but coffee grounds are a fucking
dude, you don't want to do that shit.
We just pay a little more money for coffee just to use bags. Yeah, exactly. And I'm really happy with it. And so that's, I think, on average, we go by feel, but it usually averages to between 3 and 4 days cold on coffee. Okay. And then we kick it out into a bright tank.
Okay. I think the aroma, the vanilla and the aroma is so strong that I was nervous that it was going to be a cloying beer or like at least just super sweet tasting.
Really?
But I think the acidity of the coffee really helps balance it out in a great way to where it's not at all.
You know, and I think what I'm noticing is, first of all, it's a great coffee flavor, great coffee aftertaste. It tastes like brewed coffee.
Yeah.
And by that I mean there's tannins in it.
Yeah.
Like tannins from the ground. Exactly. So, and I think that is helping to clear it up too. Much more, than just a dry porter would be or something like that. I think that method is really kind of working in tandem with everything else that you guys have going on.
Trevor and I are both real big like cold brew coffee drinkers. Like, I was like, well, the best way to do this is
perfect
to make cold brew, but instead of using water, we're using beer to do it. Like that's our base, right? So like however we would make cold
water
brew
and alcohol too.
Exactly,
nail that, which kind of helps to bring some astringency.
Some other flavors, probably.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I do like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coffee, man. I'm thinking about it. It tastes like I'm drinking a coffee that I left in my mug for 12 hours.
Right.
Like you wake up the next morning, you're like,
I love that. I
love that too.
I love that.
I actually don't like hot.
Entirely,
I don't like hot coffee.
Oh, okay.
I let it sit.
I love cold brew.
Yeah,
I'll
make it. Yeah, I'll make it, or even just room temperature, but like 70 because my house is always super cold.
Okay.
But like I'll leave it. I'll brew it and I'll have like a cup of coffee and then I'll refill it and then I'll forget about it and then 2 or 3 hours later. I drink it. I prefer that, or even 5 hours later. I don't know why. I don't know what it does. The oxidation, maybe.
Hot or refrigerated, room temperature. No thanks.
No,
refrigerated.
No. That's like
definitely refrigerated.
Yeah.
Oh, room temperature, gross.
Tepid coffee.
Gross.
Oh, good job, Warren. So, what would you guys say that you focus on if you don't have core brands?
I'll let you do that.
I don't know, hoppy beers.
The hoppy.
I really like.
Yeah,
so that's a bullshit answer. Don't give me that.
No, so there's 2 beers I like. I really like drinking IPAs. I really like drinking lagers, and I really want to perfect the lagers we make. So those can't be year round, obviously. So we're in an off. We're in a kind of off period. That's why I said all the Belgians we dumped. But
why can't you do those year round? Sorry, I'm totally going to interrupt you.
The lagers, it's more like on our scale. Even being small, we're bigger than a lot of craft breweries in our area. And 40 barrels of lager when it's 30 degrees outside is pretty fucking hard to sell. And we've actually had some pretty moderate success with selling 16-ounce cans. Like those hype cans of lager. They're not hype beers, but they're hype cans.
Hype cans.
They're hype cans. The beers aren't hype because it's just a fucking, like, it's a Helles or like a Zwickel beer. We sold a Zwickel beer that was our favorite. We should talk about this today. Our Zwickel beer, we probably can't bring back because no one will buy that. But we loved it. Like, it was amazing.
That's where the brewers liked it.
But
they like to undump that one.
Like,
Gus never wanted to dump it.
Can we put that in a 16-ounce can again? Probably not. But so, like, what we're known for is doing weird things, hoppy beers, and then also randomly lagers, because I'm just incessant on getting our lager game.
Good for you.
What if you called it a hazy lager?
We've had a few of those on accident. And Augustiner is a notoriously hard yeast to kind of fine up, and we don't use a filter. Our cans always say unfined and unfiltered because we don't use fining or filters. And it's, God, that yeast it's amazingly flavorful, but so hard to get clear. So some of our lagers have been horrendously hazy. I think, like, Pick Up the Pieces, it was dry hopped, and
even Zwickel.
Well, Zwickel's supposed to be hazy. I purposely did that, but like, Bits to Pieces was
that checked
3
me out.
weeks lagered,
Yeah.
and it was hazy as hell.
Yeah.
And like,
just gonna make
that's what we do.
Schwarzbiers.
Yeah. So we and the thing is, we did make a Baltic Porter. We were incredibly happy with. No one cares about Baltic Porters, but like. I couldn't be happier with the beer.
It was fantastic.
We get so many good reviews. Like it's like, oh, this is perfect to style. Like, oh, dope. I feel so good about that. But like everyone else is like, man, sweet dark lager. Man. I'm like, okay, I don't know. The people who know, they know, and the people who don't want Baltic Porter, they just tank the review. So.
Man, and so let me ask a question. As a brewer who obviously cares about the beer you make, but also the beer you're drinking, is it, and who has free reign to do kind of whatever you want, is it annoying that you do sort of have to work in a confined area as far as stylistically because of reviews like that, where you want to make a Baltic Porter, but nobody wants to buy it, nobody will drink it, but you want to make it, but you have to make a hazy IPA because that's what people want.
Annoying might be a hard word. Frustrating would be a very good word.
Okay. Okay.
If I could shake the consumer and convince them to drink the beers I wanted to make, I think that's every brewer, right? If I could convince people that like this is what you actually want to drink, and here are the reasons why. Because these are actually the reasons why you drink beer. It would be easier, but
enjoyment.
Currently, it's just like we all want to have jobs, and I just want to make beer that people want to buy. So I like my job, and I just want to make beer that people want to buy, so I keep my job.
We all win.
Because that's got to be tough, and it's something that I kind of talk about probably too much is the current consumer climate versus the brewer's intent, and how you match those two together to have a successful brewery. And sometimes I guess you can't, but maybe sometimes you can bend the rules a little bit.
The biggest thing about that is. So, like, me being the head brewer, I have to kind of deal with a little bit of both. Like, on the creative side, and I'm also, like, the realistic side. Like, I don't help, like, Trevor selling it or anyone else selling it. That's their job, and they do a killer job at it. But, like, I have to kind of try to think of both ends.
Mm-hmm.
My brewers are the ones who are like, why the fuck are we making this? Like, I don't want to make it. And I'm like, guys, you don't see the bigger picture, and you don't want to, because I promise you, when I was where you were, and then 5 years from now, you'll be where I am, and you'll be like, God, this fucking sucks. And you're gonna feel sorry for all the people that are now brewing your beer for you. And it's hard to really kind of sell that to your team.
No, they got to trust you. They got to trust
you.
Yeah. They got to trust you.
Yeah.
And you have to ask them, like, do you want to have my job someday? And
I want them all to have my job.
You do.
It'd be dope.
You're going to have the same problem. And
do you think the average beer consumer likes beer?
No.
Currently,
not
right
at all.
now,
no.
Warren, man, fucking love it.
That's a big no.
I would agree.
I'm not so sure.
They're all learning.
Yeah.
The verdict's just not in yet.
What is it? What do you think? Why do you think you're answering in the slightly affirmative to
Too
Warren's
many
question?
pastry stouts. Too many pastry stouts.
As you pat the stack of pastry stouts in the book.
As Trevor pats all the pastry stouts he brought. No, it's more like, man, I don't know. Like, my guilty pleasure beer is High Life, and if you can't enjoy a High Life on a hot day, you probably just don't like beer.
You're not American, really.
I don't go that far.
No, I did it. Sorry.
You probably just don't like beer, or like a tall boy of like Olympian or something. I'd be like,
Dude,
like
Oli, get out of town. Rainier's fucking. I will make out with you if we had Rainier right now.
It'd be so good. If you don't like beer, you just don't like beer, and that's okay.
That's fine.
You don't have to like beer.
Otherwise, you're just trying to learn not like it. Yeah.
It's fine to not like beer. You don't have to like beer. A lot of us like built our lives around this ridiculous liquid, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't have to.
About that.
Yeah, you don't have to like beer if you don't like beer. So if you don't like beer, just don't drink it.
We have to try the pastry stout.
Right
oh yeah,
we will. We're going to close with it.
What the hell?
We're going to take a break here, actually, probably right now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get into all these beers.
Oh my Jesus!
Now we're probably not going to get to all of them, but I do want to do
single one.
I do want to do the pastry stout. I want to talk about that because I have honestly never had one. Because, and I'll be completely honest, the concept doesn't appeal to to me. I'm not the target audience for that. I can understand the desire to taste something like that, or to brew something like that. You know, as a home brewer coming from a home brewer background, you want to. What food can I incorporate in the beer? That's how we got cacao nibs in the beer, for God's sake, or lactose, or all that kind of bullshit, right? So I can understand the concept. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, dude, I'm just fucking making shit up, right? You know what I mean? But I don't know. You know, cereal beers, for God's sake. Pizza beer, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, but I've never had one because I'm a 41-year-old man.
Who likes beer.
Yeah.
You're not a hype boy.
Me neither. This might be my first also.
The bill of my hat's not flat enough.
Well, don't judge all the beer by this garbage one, but I think it's okay.
I'll try not to, and I get a good feeling that these will be wet and carbonated. This is The Session. Enjoy this break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking to the boys from New Glory Craft Brewery. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support. Like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer. Whether for yourself or as a gift, when you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
Hey, this is Gabriel from Half Acre in Chicago. You're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Before we get back to the boys here in the studio, in the stew, on the pod, in the stew.
You know how those boys be.
Yeah, the boys.
The boys.
You got the boys.
Little glory boys.
Them boys.
Glory boys.
Hey, man, I just naming your beers for you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll give you all the new names. It'll be good. Yeah, the boys.
We're missing opportunities.
That's goddamn right. The Branding Brews podcast is a deep look inside everything that revolves around branding and marketing a brewery. Branding Brews interviews industry professionals covering in-depth strategies and topics like labels, packaging, websites, social media content, trademark marketing, plus much more. Whether you are in sales and marketing, you own a brewery, or you're looking to start a brewery, Branding Brews is a podcast for you. Go to brandingbrews.com or subscribe to the show wherever you like to get your podcasts, which, I don't know. I don't even know if people listen to podcasts anymore.
Well, they don't have to like them to listen to them.
Well, that's probably true. What are you guys passing around? You guys pass around some full pints.
Oh.
Full pints of beers.
Some Ubedank.
Trevor insists on drinking Ubedank.
What is that?
It's our West Coast. It's like probably our one flagship beer. It's probably available.
Oh, suddenly we have flagships now.
I thought we don't.
Beer.
I had no idea.
Why are you hedging here?
It's not funny.
In our defense, it's a West Coast IPA. Okay, that's our one flagship.
You say in our defense. Come on.
In my defense.
Come on.
In New Glory's defense, that's not even my beer.
He's not giving you a break at all.
I might have
Should've brought a third guy.
I might have made some tweaks on that, but that's not my beer. Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, we have a beer in front of us.
Yes.
Now comes the drinking part of the show.
Psyched.
What is? Oh, you're psyched for the show or the beer?
Also both.
Shit. No. What is this? It's called Psyched.
This is Psyched. So this is our West Coast IPA with Mosaic, Amarillo, and Denali.
Okay, this is the one you were talking about.
Otherwise known as colloquially in the brewery, known as Mad. We just call it the Mad beer. Mad.
So this is the one that has the Denali that you said if you did individually, it tastes like dirt.
To anyone who actually knows like New Glory and they know that we came out with Denali, bro, was really rough. It was
nobody liked it.
It was
juicy for
it was like juicy
a
fruit
lot
dragged
of
through the mud. It wasn't as juicy as I was told. And we went all in on it because I like to do a lot of brewers like to do like smash beers,
and
everything. But I like to discover a new hop by doing a single hop. Like how else can you really figure out what it is?
What's a smash beer?
Smash beer, single malt, single hop.
Okay. Asks the home brewer.
Yeah. So
the ex-home brewer.
which is like what I used to do as a home brewer.
Okay.
So you learn.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you figure out what like a malt that you know, and then figure out a hop you don't know, or vice versa.
You learn something.
Yeah, and you learn something. And so we tried to do that on a commercial scale. The Denali was weird. I mean, it wasn't a bad beer. It was just like we kind of came out with it. And we're like, oh, that's what Denali is by itself. Okay, now we know. Don't do that again.
You learned that.
But now we actually use Denali a lot. We just know that don't single hop it. Like you got to blend it with a lot of
did people buy it?
A lot of really good hops.
It's in this beer.
No?
Yeah.
And you mentioned it last. That means it's like late edition or just use less stuff?
No, I specifically mentioned it last. Good picking up on that, Tasty. Yeah, no,
I'm a recipe guy.
I know I always list hops by percentage, right? So Mosaic and Amarillo are in this beer. They're equal. So it's. I don't know. It's like almost 1/3 of each, but Denali is just a little bit less.
You're talking about by weight. You're talking about by IBU.
Yeah, no, by weight.
By weight.
So for the actual,
so it's when they're added, it makes more difference.
Yeah. So for the boil, they're all equal all the way through, and then for the dry hop, we blast them differently a little bit. So like I have a kind of weird way of making IPAs that
nude
are a little weird, a little not the norm. I don't think.
Why?
Way,
what are you doing?
Everything you said recipe.
I put hops
Something
in it.
in the process?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So I've talked to a lot of like really great brewers that I know and respect, and I love their beer, and at brewers that we've collabed with too, and that they like to do 1 to 2 pounds per barrel in Whirlpool.
Okay.
And we do predominantly Whirlpool in a lot of our IPAs, and hazy or not, it's mostly Whirlpool. But I usually go about a 1/2 pound per barrel, and then make up for it on the dry hop.
So, what do you feel you get from that?
I feel like I get a softer bitterness. So like
just as much.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like this, so Psyched as an example is like I think it's a 6.8% beer, and it's about what Beersmith says is about 30 IBUs, but I know it's a hell of a lot more than that because we blast it in dry hop. And this is not a 30 IBU beer, but our Beersmith recipe kind of says it is, and I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. And I don't trust those numbers. So like, I don't hit our Whirlpool as hard as a lot of other breweries do.
Okay,
and I think it's something that
good to know.
We do differently. Yeah. I think some of our beers could become a little sweeter because of that compared to others, but it's also the one thing I like. God, without saying this, without like blasting Sierra Nevada, like one thing, like growing up, like in Dixon and living in Chico for a long time, I loved Sierra Nevada. It was always my favorite brewery, but also I never loved how jarring the bitterness was in the back of my jowls, and I never really wanted to make beers that like with a lingering bitterness. And I just always, as a home brewer, I always wanted to be like, how can I make beers that are bitter and balanced, but also really hoppy, and that you don't have like that. You take a drink and then like 30 seconds later, like you're still tasting the bitterness. I never liked
a shorter
that.
finish.
I had a pale ale like that earlier today.
That long finish to me and hoppy beers is like a pushback.
Yeah.
That means I can't drink it as fast as I would normally would.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to measure how much I like a beer. Is how fast, like, wow, I've really plowed through this beer.
Yeah.
I must like it.
So it's something that I've always taken to my style of brewing IPA specifically. Is just like that a beer should be really hoppy and bitter, but also shouldn't linger.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't.
No, that makes sense.
It shouldn't be.
No, long finishes are for stouts and imperial stouts.
Yeah, without taking. I think Zach from Moonraker always used to say this was. I know I had to say this, but he always used to say like daggers on the tongue. I don't know if he got that from somewhere else or anything.
It's very punk rock.
He always said he's like daggers on the tongue, and like I hate. Like, if you're drinking a beer, it should be bitter because beer is bitter. Sure. But it shouldn't be daggers on the tongue. It should be. Yeah. And that's what he always said at Moonraker. And I was like, cool. That's we always work together really well about that.
Yeah. So when you miss out on some of the Whirlpool edition, you add more in the dry hop to make up for that IBU, because from what we've talked about on the show, Tacey, isn't that you're adding a lot of hops to add more bitterness, because you do get bitterness in the dry hop, but not as much as in the Whirlpool, so you have to add like a third more hops maybe or something like that?
Yeah.
How much more do you think you would add in the dry hop?
It's really hard to say. I mean, I think some rough science has shown between 5 to 15 IBUs.
Okay.
Because a lot of it is oxidized beta acids. You're not really getting alpha acids. And I'm not a scientist. I'm just like, I've read stuff.
You sound like a scientist.
I've read stuff. No, a lot of people smarter than me have said like there's a lot of oxidized alpha and beta acids that actually contribute to bitterness. And it's not like that boil-driven alpha acid that actually necessarily gives everything. Like, Tasty's like shaking his head. He's like, yeah, he knows.
I think he's just shaking.
Is it measurable bitterness? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't either.
The beer is substantially less bitter before we dry hop it. Like tasting samples before.
Sensory-wise, it is definitely.
Sensory-wise, yeah, exactly.
15 IBUs higher.
We don't have a gastro-spectrometer. We are.
I'll take your word.
Yeah.
Seems like you got some great brewers on your panel.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for the 15 IBU bump.
Yeah, it seems like there seems to be some there's a lot of brewers right now doing 0 IBU beers. They call them 0 IBU beers, and I'm like, well, that's bullshit. Like,
I've never heard that.
Without calling out,
that's crazy.
I love. We're like I don't know, like considered best friends with Virgin. I love those guys out in Carlsbad. They did a 0 IBU, and I'm doing air quotes again. They did a 0 IBU beer, and they actually had it tested, and it was 40 IBU. So was
it all dry hop?
I believe it was. I don't want to speak for them, but I believe it was a pretty strong Whirlpool at 180 or 190 degrees, and then just a massive 4 pounds per barrel dry hop.
Wow.
And it was 40 IBU. So what common.
Science or mathematics.
Yeah, that's just what it tells you. It should be 0 IBU. Yeah, exactly.
That's a limitation of the brewing software.
Yeah, right. But what it actually mathematically is, they had it tested and it was 40 IBUs. Trevor, do you remember what beer that was? Because it was phenomenal.
Do they still call it a 0 IBU beer?
It's because only because that's
liars.
It's a marketing thing.
Sure, of course,
it's become a thing.
Well, let's face it. Putting IPA on a label is marketing. You know what I mean?
It's not. It wasn't them. It's more like at that point it's a method, right?
Sure.
0 IBU method, but even then, you get IBUs from everything. Yeah. If you look at a beer wrong, you get IBUs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
At least perception.
Yeah. Yeah.
A drop in pH will do the same thing.
Oh God, don't even get me started on pH. I don't want to talk about that. That's been a nightmare recently.
Would that save on? This is a dumb question. Would that save on hops if you mess with the pH? You don't have to use as many hops?
A proper lower pH beer is going to be pop better than the muddled and high.
But and to that point is we actually use more hops because we don't put them in the Whirlpool, so we end up dry hopping harder.
Okay.
So not only do we get less hop extraction because it's not hot, but we also get less yield because it's all pellets just having to be not filtered, but avoided. So we have to avoid them when we send them to the bright tank because we can't just send hop dust into the bright tank. And
so so what are you leaving stuff behind in the fermenters?
Yes.
Wow.
And dry hopping raises the pH too, especially when you do a large amount.
It substantially does. A lot of our beers are way above what is considered standard packaging pH. They start out packaging pH under around 4.1, 4.2, which is kind of like rule of thumb, and then they go up to the 4.5s because after you dry hop them, I mean, if they were 3.7 before we dry hop them, they'd be sour. That's kind of how, at least like in our experience, it works. So a lot of our that's why I think a lot of breweries say don't sit on IPAs because a lot of current breweries we don't have the control to really keep our package pH to where we want it after such a massive dry hop.
Well, and I think that works well with the hazy climate also.
Yeah, it does. And
I know breweries that just adjust the pH of packaging, whatever they want.
Yeah, and I just don't like doing that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's probably a really good idea.
Pepsi does it, and Coke does it.
It's really
look at the ingredients: phosphoric acid. What's that there for?
I mean, we just don't even have Biofine to clear our West Coast beer. So I just try not to. We try to do everything we can hot side, and then the brewers do everything they can hot side, and the cellar men and women are made to not.
Oh yeah, do it inclusive.
Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up all the work that they've done. And they won't fuck up all the work that you're about to do because it's honestly, you guys are all working together to come together with a cohesive product. I think it's so unfair that cellarmen get
and women.
Everyone's Exactly. Everyone wants to be a brewer, but cellar people.
There you go.
They're the last ones that handle the product, and they're the most important. And I try to tell everyone who comes up in our brewery, they start at the keg washer and then they move up to cellar people.
Cellar human.
It is, cellar human. It is so important, their job. It is just beyond important.
Even the cellar guy's counting on the keg washer to get his shit right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what they need. Everybody needs to know.
It's just this whole chain thing and keeping the production. I feel like we've gone so far off topic, sorry, but keeping the entire brewery cohesive.
We're actually talking about motor oil.
Cohesive is 10W30, by the way. No, keeping the whole brewery cohesive and keep everyone on the same page. Hey, we have one goal, and everyone has a task.
You guys are like hippies, man.
So they put you in charge.
You're very positive. You're very paycheck positive. I'm going to coin that phrase instead of body positive. You want to support people.
Because Trevor's looking at me, he's like, God, Kyle's such an asshole all the time.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
no, but you know what I mean. And then you're talking about everyone being happy and everyone being it's
we make beer for a living. Why the fuck can't we be happy?
Right. You should enjoy it.
All be enjoying our jobs.
No, absolutely.
We just make beer for a living. We're not launching the space shuttle. We're not saving people's lives. We're just trying to make everyone's afternoon a little bit better when they drink a beer of ours.
That's right.
That's okay.
Yeah, and you can get a large pepperoni pizza. And a pint of beer. Well, this beer, it does have the psych. It does, going back to the beer, it does have a smooth bitterness.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's not super, obtuse, I guess.
No. I'm a fan of Mosaic and Amarillo, and so them being in there and also the majority, it makes it an easy beer to enjoy. But I can definitely pick up the Denali with the Starburst kind of.
Because you're like, that's not Mosaic and Amarillo.
Right, yeah.
I don't know
Starburst,
that flavor.
dirt
That's
kind
Denali,
of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get the dirt, but I could definitely see how as a single hop where you're using it to the same potency, I could get the underlying kind of almost like woody character.
Yeah.
That on its own, I could see where it'd be like.
It goes from subtle earth to oh man, drag to the dirt and
stronger than dirt.
That.
See, that's you make you make a beer with 100% Denali. Call it stronger than dirt. There you go.
Yeah,
fucking works. What's this next beer that popped for us?
I think that's Cells Interlinked.
Oh, you doing Cells?
Yeah, Cells.
Cells Interlinked.
So Cells. It's a Blade Runner reference, Blade Runner 2049 reference.
The new one.
Right. It's super good. But this beer, I like to play around with Southern Hemisphere hops. So we've kind of settled on a Waimea Raquel blend, and then the rest is Citra, Simcoe, and then Vic's Secret to kind of back it up. So those three hops never change.
Who's Secret?
Vic's.
Who is it?
Nailed it.
Trader Vic's.
Who is it?
Nailed it. Who's on first? So that's Waimea Raquel in the dry hop, and then the boil is all Citra, Simcoe, Vic's Secret, and then the dry hop is a combination of all five of those hops. Jesus Christ, yeah.
And this is a double IPA.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like a double IPA.
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, I mean,
it tastes like a quadruple. It tastes like garbage.
It tastes like horribly.
Well, go on either side of it. It might be good or bad. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't. It's not malty. It's not overly sweet.
There you go.
It's. I don't want to say thin, but it kind of tastes like the first one. It just tastes like an IPA. But it's softer because it's hazy, right?
So
I wouldn't know this is an IPA double.
I believe this batch actually came out at 8.13 or something.
Okay.
And
the can says 12, so
no, it does not.
That might be a problem.
Well, we don't talk about
We'll cut that out.
I will say that the dealing with Southern Hemisphere hops are kind of a nightmare. Like honestly, as a home brewer, it might be nice to like get some of those sexy hops in and like do a one-off.
Yeah,
but as a
your whole
commercial
3
brewer,
ounces.
they are so effing inconsistent. We have,
really?
We have contracts for Galaxy and Vic Secret, but everything else we kind of spot hop out. So Raquel, Waimea, Motueka, a lot of like some really heavy hitter hops, but they're so inconsistent. And like you get like these hops, like the last batch we did of this beer, we had a totally different hop character out of the hops, and they're
really.
It's just a different spot of the same hops.
So when you say you go to the spot market, does that mean you're just buying like a box or two, see what you get, and then we'll have some more of that lot if you got them?
We buy, we usually buy like 3 to 5 boxes at a time, and then use it up, and then try to find more of that. Like for Raquel and Waimea, we basically buy as much as we can when we find it. I think we actually got this through BSG.
Because it's more consistent in quality.
Yeah, and it's more of like it's more inconsistent. Like we want as much in one quantity as
that way you can blend it together.
So we're like, so at least we have like one flavor profile that we can use for 6 months, kind of deal. But we haven't had that much success with these two specific hops that we actually really like. I really like Waimea and Raquel, and they're kind of hard to get. I know Trevor always has to deal with it because he's like, "What hops this sells in Atlantic Ave now?" I'm like, I'm just trying, dude, because we want to keep it Southern Hemisphere as much as we can, but also it has to maintain its flavor. Like
those poor guys down there probably don't have a Yakima Valley, so what are they going to do?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. So, I mean, I don't know. This is one of those beers where I'm just like, that doesn't taste quite like what it used to be. I'm really happy with it, but at the same time, I'm like, that tastes different. And it's like, Waimea and Raquel, they're just a little different this year. It's just kind of what it is.
It's got to be annoying, frustrating. Whatever.
That's why brewers contract every hop they can. They contract them. I was just up there last year picking out as many hops as I could, and I found some Amarillo that reminded me of Nelson, and I was like, I want all of that. I want all of those Amarillo. That smells like grape and diesel, like weed. Like, I want all of that. And they're like, we can do that. I'm like, dope. Can I up my contract while I'm here still? Like, I want all of that. Like, I want all of this.
What's that other guy?
Okay. Yeah. And it's going to be the same. So you get it 6 months later, it has those qualities that you did at the
hops
selection?
Are so well stored nowadays that it's like not even usually an issue. Not that I found, at least. Not with how much we're going through hops. I mean, like, we bring in a pallet or two of hops a month almost. Like, so we go through probably 2,000 to 4,000 pounds of hops a month.
Well, in 2 beers.
Some insane amount.
It's dry hopping 2 beers.
We're known for IPAs. That's what we do. We just make IPAs.
It's your flagship.
They don't
all
have
of
one.
them. Yeah.
So it's interesting that you guys contract when you're doing such a heavy rotation and kind of one-offs or new beers. You just have kind of like a common core, like, pantry of hops?
Well, kind of. I mean, because also, like, I mean, like, we can. Trevor has to deal with this. Like, that's why he might have something to say. But it's more of like we have like a pantry to choose from, and then like also like, well, what can I go buy at the specialty market to soup up this pantry a little bit, right? Like, so like, we have 10,000 pounds of Citra and 10,000 pounds of Mosaic and like 8,000 pounds of Simcoe. Sure, those are necessary hops. What can I buy on the spot to do differently and like blend in with those so that they're not all the same? You can't make 100 different beers with only 3 different hops. That's just not how that works. So we try to like kind of backblend, and I really try that every time we come up with a new beer, it's a whole new malt bill too. It's something that's kind of almost infuriating to some people, mainly my brewers who have to brew all the time. Because I'm always trying new malts. I want I insist that every new beer should really be a new beer, and it should be a new malt bill and a new grain and a new hop bill.
It really is.
It's not
just the same grain.
There's a bunch of
really isn't.
malts available, of course.
Yeah.
Are you talking about base malt changes or just specialty malt?
Yeah, mainly base malt changes.
Really?
I mean, like a lot of our beers are like either 50-50. Like they're usually 50-50 like RAR, which is our base malt, RAR 2-row, and then like a continental malt. We use a lot of Simpsons, but we use also a lot of Thomas Fawcett, a lot of 50-50, and then adjuncts to that is rolled oats, obviously for hobby beers. I mean for like
Hazy
northeastern, hazies. Flaked wheat for all beers. I like flaked wheat, and then flaked rye. I'm obsessed with. So we don't tell a lot of our customers that our beers have flaked rye in them, but a lot of them do.
What does that do?
I think it gives a little bit of body and a little bit of spiciness, but people don't like rye. So if you tell them there's rye in it, they won't like it.
Well, what percent of the
so we
grist
just
is?
don't.
What percent of the grist is?
About 5%. Not crazy. Yeah, no.
I'd have to look for it. If there's somebody that's goes like, "Oh, I taste the rye in here. I'm gonna dump it out."
Tasty was just like doing his waving thing. I'm like, yeah, no, you're right, absolutely. But if we put rye in the beer, they'd be like, "Oh, it's so spicy." Right. They would just say that.
I could totally get the spice out of it.
There is so little rye in this. Like you would never.
It's a negligible amount.
So we don't tell a lot of people that we put a lot of flaked rye in a lot.
Can you taste it? You can taste it though yourself.
I don't know that I can.
I don't know that I can. How about the body? Get the body.
I feel like there's a perceptible level of protein stability and thickness. Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But no, there's no spice in it. The flaked rye is totally different than malted rye. Yeah, it's a totally different thing. But I like rye. Like I like brewing with rye. I like drinking rye. Cool. 10 years ago when rye IPAs were fucking everywhere, I was so happy. I loved fucking rye IPAs, and I still do. And we came out with one once, and the customer base said, "No, thank you." I think all the brewers liked it, didn't we? Didn't we all like it?
Yeah.
But everyone's like, "No, thanks," and we're like, "Okay, we'll make sure to not tell you there's rye in it next time."
Yeah. Check that one off the list.
We'll season to our taste, but ingredients don't have to be listed.
Well, you know what? This beer, I like the aroma on this beer. It's very lemony, but tropical lemony, almost like an acidic like tiki drink more.
Oh, that's dope.
You know, a little falernum maybe I get in the nose.
Okay,
a
it's
little
that rye, the 5% rye.
I think that's. I knew I could taste it. Yeah.
I don't think there's rye.
But it's
it's not the 5% rye.
No.
Let me bring it up on Beersmith.
It's a very complex aroma within that juicy lemon.
At one point, there was
sphere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
What do you want?
It's very okay. They're having a situation over there.
Yeah, with the can situation, dude. What's going on?
I need more of the beer.
Oh,
it's here. It's right here, homie.
You get tasty whatever he wants.
I got underserved.
Yeah. It definitely has the hazy juice intensity.
Jesus.
Yeah, it really does.
He does not have rye in it.
Of course.
That up really fast.
Checking.
Sorry.
Wow,
Nice
dude.
stuff.
Sorry.
But
this is a beer with a short finish. It doesn't have a big lingering sort of like back of the throat thing like a lot of less than clear beers do.
Yeah.
This beer has a nice clean back of throat finish. For sure.
So we talk a lot about that in terms of
not that one. That's
not
the last
having
one.
a yeast burn. We don't want like that yeast burn.
Yeah.
And also all of our beers. So the yeast we use actually finishes to between 82 and 84% attenuation. So it actually dries out. It does come across a little sweet. That's probably a lot to do with the oats, but. No, it's fully attenuated. Like that's one thing that I do not appreciate about hazy beers is they need to be fully attenuated. They can be very ester forward, and the yeast can have a lot of character in the beer. But man, they should be fermented, and they should taste like beer.
They should be fermented ideally before it hits the can.
I need instructions on what beer we're doing next.
We're doing the Moxa. Let's do it.
Really? Okay.
Let's do it.
Look at me.
We're doing it.
Trevor's wasting.
We're doing that.
The collab.
Kyle, who's driving home?
I am.
He's this guy.
I could tell.
I thought this was the one we're going to end with.
No.
Yeah, so let's do Galaxy Bro.
All right, let's do Galaxy Bro.
Okay.
You said you don't do any pH adjustment after fermentation.
From now on, Trevor is to answer every question.
Mallow.
We don't do a pH adjustment after.
But do you do any water treatment like on the hot side.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have pretty soft water. We do a lot of mineral adjustments just for mineral kind of water profile, obviously. Sorry, I'm like looking at Tasty.
Yeah. Don't ever do that.
Also, like,
he'll look back at you, dude.
we
so.
honestly don't do a lot of. We use as little like lactic acid as we can, just to get us within the pH range. I'm a little weird. I like our hazies to be in the higher pH range mash, and then our West Coast to be lower pH. I like the acidity, the bright acidity on a West Coast.
Yeah.
I know some breweries like.
Call them out, dude. Let's go.
No, just some breweries like the Northeasterns to be lower pH to bring up that citrus flavor, and I feel like you lose the softness in that. So like we're always shooting for between 5.35 and 5.45 for our hazies, and then 5.2 to 5.35 for our West Coast, and that's kind of, you talk to a lot of brewers, they're kind of backwards on that, or different on that, and I don't think I'm right. I just like the way.
That's what you want to drink.
Yeah.
Which is why we started doing this in the first place.
I don't claim to know anything. I like the way our beers turn out that way, and that's the way we do it. Yeah.
Do you also add more like chalk or some softening?
No. So the base on our water is we don't need to ever add. It's so soft that we only just ever need to add stuff to decrease pH. We never need to raise pH.
Okay.
So using chalk, right, or like baking soda or anything to like raise pH, that never happens. Even on the darkest of our stouts, like I think the Malabaster we used. Oh my God, the smallest amount of baking soda, and it almost made no difference. But it was just like, because it was so much roasted malt, there's only so much you can do. But it was like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep adding baking soda to this. Like, this is ridiculous, and because it's like, the pH is what the pH is. So
and again, it's like how the beer tastes when you're done. It's not like you're super acidic or something. You don't get a low pH bite, and you're great. It's good beer.
Yeah, I feel like that adding pH additives outside of hot side, it's so hard to incorporate it all. But it always comes across as like minerality or like some
off
flavor.
What's that flavor?
Yeah, it's just like, where did that come from? I'm like, you'd probably be better if you just left it where it was.
Let nature can run its course.
Fix it next time.
Even if the pH was a little weird,
if it's not perfect,
let it be what it is. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not correct. I'm just.
Is that common? Like adjusting stuff after cold side before packaging?
That's question. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's common.
Oh, okay.
I think I've heard of home brewers doing it, and I've never had it taste good. So I agree.
Yeah.
It doesn't mix the same.
I think the reality of it is like a lot of us brewers came from home brewing, obviously, but then we had to realize that we're not fucking around with 5 gallons. We're fucking around with 1,500 gallons. I don't know, so it's like oh yeah, you don't make uncalculated decisions. Like,
sure.
Like everything is just like that's $3,000 worth of ingredients and like $25,000 worth of net income. Like if you dump it, you're like, oh, that was $25,000 down the drain.
Right.
We just lost that.
Yeah.
And
hell yeah, let's have a party.
That goes exactly back to like being a head brewer and like dealing with or like working with my amazing brew staff is the fact that like, guys, I have to think about so much more than you do. You guys are killing it, but also like I have to worry about when a beer sucks. So like when we dump a beer that's totally not flawed but just kind of sucks, that was $20,000 that we tied a tank up for 3 weeks, and that really sucks. And let's think about the decisions we make when we want to try something weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah.
Experimentation only goes so far until it costs you a bunch of money.
Before you have to dump everything that you start doing. Yeah. And that was all entirely my fault. The Belgians were all my fault. I want to make that clear. That was all my fault. That had nothing to do with my brewers. My brewers did excellent jobs, and I fucked all that up.
There you go.
I like you more now.
That was
up for us.
That was entirely my fault. Yeah.
The cellar people.
You're being recorded.
No, just the cellar men.
Just the
men. The cellar women didn't do anything wrong.
The brewer people and the cellar people did excellent jobs, and I just
you did not
failed to execute. Yeah, that was a bad decision. Failed.
You dump beer and then said that too.
Oh yeah.
I like you a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey.
You mentioned Beersmith earlier, and I don't know if you knew this, but Beersmith 3 is now out.
Oh, I do.
I bet they can calculate those IBUs in the
Well, that's true. Yeah, you were talking about that. It has support for mead, wine, and cider recipes for the first time ever as a water profile tool built into the recipe builder, so you can build and match water profiles within a recipe, match pH estimation and adjustment. New support for hop whirlpool additions, including time and temperature. Completely revised databases, including new hops, malts, fruits, juices, honeys, all sorts of stuff. 700,000 recipes online. Boil adjustments for high-altitude brewing. Streamlined interface. Go to beersmith.com today. Get your 21-day free trial of the best brewing software on the market.
Agreed. I don't use Beersmith 3 at the brewery, but I do use Beersmith 2. And I'm just afraid to transition my profile.
Well, hey, you know what? You get 21 days for free.
No, I use Beersmith 3 at home. This is not a plug. I love Beersmith 3 at home. I'm so afraid I'm messing up the brewery by changing to Beersmith that I don't want to. I just worked around everything.
I got you. Well, the next time a fucked up beer comes up, just change the thing. Blame it on Beersmith.
But yeah, I love Beersmith. I've been using it since 1.0.
Hell yeah.
Or 1 point something. It might not have been 1.0. And yeah,
Lying. He's lying to us, dude. Yeah.
I'm not paid. I'm not paid by
you want a t-shirt? I think Brad give you a t-shirt.
I would probably argue that 95% of craft brewers use Beersmith still. I think all the brewers.
I would think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so, too. Let's take a break real fast before we get to these beers. Kind of up on it. Huh? What do you think? We have 2 beers left?
Yeah.
All right. 2 beers left with New Glory Brewing. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about these beers, a pastry stout, whatever that is. And then we'll kick everybody out. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
Hey, what's up? This is Blake from Creature Comforts. You're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for staying tuned in. It's not like you have a choice, really, because what else are you going to listen to?
Not anything else.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing
NPR.
else. Oh. Yeah, but if you want to stay awake, you listen to The Session.
Fair enough.
With New Glory Craft Brewery. Before we get back to these 2 beers and the boys, I want to remind you that the Smart Brew Water Testing Kit incorporates a revolutionary photometer system, which is the first and only one on the market with its own app. You can use it for home or commercial use. It's the only meter on the market that runs water tests with no math needed on your part. You can email the results to the rest of your brewers, post it to your Facebook page, whatever you want to do. You can test for over 40 different water quality tests, things like total alkalinity, chloride, calcium hardness, pH, sulfate, and more, with only 4 mils of water needed for each test. So go to smartbrewkit.com. And you can either buy the standard or advanced Smart Brew Test Kit, and you save $10 with code TB10.
No one likes math.
No, dude, I hate math so much, dude.
See, arithmetic kills me.
I'm Greek, and I shouldn't hate math. Like Pythagoras is my dude, but I can't.
You can use the abacus like no one's business.
That works, actually.
It's genetically, I think you're predestined.
You think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
All right.
you know.
Okay. Well,
what are you
okay.
gonna do, man?
All right. Okay.
All right, so we have 2 beers in front of us, fellas. What are we drinking? What's this first one here? Oh shit! Well, now you have 2. You just drank it.
Yeah, damn it.
What's the first one we're drinking? Do you even
know.
Galaxy, bro?
Yeah, Bevo. Yeah, yes. Do you even Galaxy, bro? So this is our. So we have a West Coast bro series where we do. I know it's so dumb. So,
but it's very Sacramento.
Yeah, no, it's a throwback actually to Rick and Morty. So we wanted to bro with BROH, just to be really obnoxious, like East Coast.
Can you throw back to something that's 2 years old?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
it's a toss. Really.
No, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 2 seasons, but it's
something
5
like that.
years old. Okay,
it's coming back though.
Yeah, it's coming back. Fuck off. It's okay, so it's just a small little thing. Just we picked BRH because it was funny. But so this is our single hop series. So I've always said that I didn't like Galaxy and West Coast beers.
Yeah.
And Julian and Trevor said just do it. And I was like, okay, I will. And I think it turned out well, Trevor. I mean, don't you think it turned out good? Yeah. It's okay. It's I really feel like our normal, if we actually have Mosaic Bro on tap here.
Okay.
Hop Grenade.
Oh. Right.
And it's much clearer. I think that has a lot to do with the hop polyphenols and everything, because Galaxy just hazed this beer the hell up.
You think the polyphenols
I don't have that's
strain dependent, I guess, for lack of a better...
That's my way of just sounding smart. I honestly don't know.
Well, let me tell you, dude, it fucking worked.
You can bullshit out, but there's 1 or 2 nerds out there that they're not.
I know this beer came out so much fucking hazier than it always has, and we've brewed.
What do you think? I mean, really, you brewed it exactly the same way before.
It's always the same malt bill. It's always the same hop per barrel, and then always the same dry hop.
Process, same.
Yeah, everything.
Same yeast, whatever.
Yeah. And this beer came out. It's this is I don't know, maybe a week old, and it's just. It looks like a Northeastern hazy, and it's Cal Ale. It's the way we processed Syked or Ubadank, these clear beers. So these were processed the same exact way. This is Galaxy in it, and
the Galaxy one is super cloudy, and the other one is just.
It's so cloudy. So it just is what it is. But I don't know. It was fun.
You should probably dry your phone off.
Put it in ice, dude.
It's a Pixel 2. It's water resistant. It's okay. I say, where my phone off?
Yeah, this is just so it's pure Galaxy.
100% Galaxy. Galaxy in the boil, and then Galaxy in the drop. Yeah.
What are the IBUs on this?
It's hard to say. I think it's estimated at 32. And then we dry hop it to, I think the Bro series is just under 3 pounds per barrel, which sounds kind of crazy. Okay. Because it's not very intense, but we wanted the Bro series to be kind of really consistent. So it's just under 3 pounds per barrel.
On the hot side editions, do you adjust the amounts to target the same IBUs, or do you just do the same weights, and that's it?
We just do
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is interesting.
And we do 30, 15, and then flame out editions. So the Brew Series always has a 30-minute edition, a 15-minute edition, and then a Whirlpool edition, which is obviously much larger. But
no 60-minute or no
bittering at all.
Okay.
Zero. When we say this beer is 100% a hop, we mean that. It literally is 100% hop. Yeah, we use a lot. We use a lot of Warrior or Magnum for bittering in a lot of our beers, just to get some some IBUs.
Most people do.
Yeah, of course. And it's like you got like, but this beer we literally we don't when we mean 100%. We truly mean 100%.
Not a pellet, not a drop,
not one pellet of Magnum or Warrior in that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to be very careful about our IBUs, but also we don't worry about being under, which was probably a lot of some of the hops are a little under where they should be because the alpha acid
in terms of bitterness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't. Correct.
It has a lot of there's a depth of flavor in this hop, so I do kind of like that method where you are tasting. I haven't had too many of these beers because I don't drink IPAs and I just don't care. But for me, I'm getting a very good snapshot of this beer for the bitterness impact, the aroma impact, the flavor impact. That kind of all is coming together. So I like it.
This does taste on the lower side for what I would expect the IBUs to be for an IPA. But I think that does kind of leave room to experience all of the flavors that are the full spectrum of Galaxy.
I think it's an interesting approach to not play to the IBUs, but just do the weights all the time.
Yeah.
Do you think if the beer was clear, like it normally is, would the IBUs be expressed better?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I don't.
Well, that's
really
what
know.
I find. That's why what I find about general beers that aren't clear is they sort of take the bite off the attenuation.
Was that correlation without causation? That. Who knows?
Whoa.
I honestly don't know. Sorry.
You're talking about Russian River beers now?
I know. Yeah. It's a really good point. Are hazy beers sweeter because they're hazy or because they're sweeter?
Yeah.
So I don't have an answer for that.
Just the haze is.
Well, the haze gets between you and the flavor of the beer. Right?
Yeah. Which that's why I don't. That's one of the reasons I don't like them. Because for me, they don't taste like anything.
It may be more about how much flavor's in the haze itself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be a haze quality. I mean,
for me,
I have no idea, but it seems like there's some.
I can say that this beer is 50% Raw Tiro and 50% Simpson's Maris Otter. That's just what we use always for our Bro series, and nothing else. No
rye.
No nothing. No rye. No rye.
I know you're tricky about it.
Mineral salts, and then it's pretty much the same. It's 1 pound at 30, 1 pound at 15, and I don't know, 3-4 pounds at Whirlpool. I can't remember, but
per barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not per barrel.
No,
per 15.
Wow. Per 15.
1 pound.
Yeah.
In 15 barrels.
Yeah, so 1 pound at 30, 1 pound at 15, and then 4 pounds at Flame Out.
Right.
Yeah.
But 1 pound for a 15.
So it's really only 6 pounds of hops in a 15 barrel batch.
On the hot side.
On the hot side.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we just blast it in dry hop.
That's a lot of character, man. There's a ton of character for that little amount of hops.
I'm not saying it's a good or a bad way. It's just the way that I like to do things, and then we just hit it really hard and grab. So our beers are really kind of muted before we dry hop them, and then obviously our non-dry hop beers get treated a lot differently. Obviously,
sure.
Great. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, that's cool. And people are digging on the single hop.
I think so.
The Bro series.
Does the Bro series kind of do well for us?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
got a lot of bros up there.
Trevor's laying upside down on the ground right now, so it's fine. But
the Bro does really well for us. Like I said, I alluded to the fact that we've had some non-successful Bro beers. Denali was probably maybe not the best one.
I like we keep going to that one.
Like I say, you're living on the edge.
Denali is not just a river in
the
Egypt.
Bro's been good because we're able to keep. It's like a smash beer that isn't smash because it's not single malt.
Yeah.
But that we can keep everything consistent and then just do a single hop, and that everyone knows what they're expecting, and then they know what they do or do not like from that hop. And that's been really successful. And then and when the beer turns out good, it is good. Mosaic has become Mosaic Bro has been almost like a year-round beer now.
Thanks.
Yeah,
someone called that a flagship.
Almost.
The only ship that doesn't float in Sacramento is a flagship.
If you could only count on it being around year-round, it might be a flagship.
Okay, and what's this dark beer here that I have in front of me?
Oh God. Okay, so this is our collaboration with our friends at Moxa. So Moxa Brewing.
They've been on the show?
Yeah, they've been on the show. And Corey is an ex-New Glory brewer, and we love him to death.
Oh, okay.
Always be friends with your exes, Warren.
Oh, yeah. I have so many.
It's super important. I think it's important, at least. I don't want to talk for anybody else. No, so we did this fun collab with them, and we made a big old stout.
Mallow Blaster.
Mallow Blaster. So that's actually, God dang, that is a.
It says Imperial Pastry Stout, but I wonder how much. I wonder how much rye is in there.
Well, he's got it.
I got it.
The name,
he's got it.
What's a kids show with like the science school bus?
Imperial?
The Magic School Bus?
School Bus, that one. Yeah, so
Somebody told me some LSD one time.
What's the school with the magical school bus? Oh, the Magic School Bus.
Got it.
Nailed it.
What's that show with Mr. Rogers and he has a neighborhood?
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, nailed it.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
So there's an episode where Ralphie he's eating these mallow blasters, and they're just like these like mud pies or moon pies or whatever. And I just like mallow blaster. I always thought that that's what they were called. I watched that show so much. I honestly thought that was what that thing was called.
Okay.
It's like, we should do like mallow blaster, and they're like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, no, it's like like chocolate cake and then like marshmallow and then like covered in chocolate. And they're like, you mean like a moon pie or whatever? I'm like, no, it's a mallow blaster. And I found out that I was the only insane person that thought that was a real thing.
Right.
Mallow blaster is not actually a real thing. Moon pies or whatever they're called is a real thing.
Okay.
So
I think it's like a southern thing, though. I don't think you find moon pies.
they're not very common here.
You can find them here.
See, she knows.
There's a gas station in Crockett.
She's working on an app to tell you where the latest
It's
moon
in
guy.
Rodeo.
I think I got a lot of those in Dixon. That's why I know about them. So that's where like the theme is. So we want to do like chocolate and marshmallow and just a epic shit ton of vanilla.
And this is a pastry stout, imperial pastry
Yeah,
stout.
this is what you'd call a pastry stout, where the finishing gravity is in the 10s. So
is that normal for a pastry stout?
For a pastry stout, yeah. So like for some of the homebrewers, that might be in the what is that, 1040
in the starting gravity range?
Yeah, 1040 range.
Yeah, what does this start at? What would an imperial pastry stout start at?
So this beer
gravity-wise?
started at 1142, so 1.142, which is like I think just under 32 Plato.
Hydrometers go that high?
Yeah.
It shot right out.
Ours do, yeah.
I guess it's sunk, yeah.
And that was ridiculous. So
You should do this with that Brute IPA yeast and just try to dry it the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, let's talk about brutes. Hey, Trevor, do you want to talk about brutes?
Trevor's melting right now.
Let's do it.
Sales meets marketing fight here.
Yeah, so I mean, we work with our friends at Moxa and did this. We did. So this is a double mash. So we did
double mash.
Yeah. So like,
is that
yeah. So we just
six,
did,
or is that like you shortened it up a little bit?
We did first runnings and then didn't collect anything. So for 15 barrels, we did 1,200 pound mashes.
Oh,
God.
So that's
bless.
twice as much, right? Because we didn't sparge or anything. So we ended up with 1142 after maltodextrin without any candy sugar or anything.
Wow.
And then
what?
Yeah, it was a lot.
You didn't sparge.
You broke tasty.
See, this is the thing.
Why didn't you sparge and use that as the strike water for the next batch?
We don't have enough vessels for that. It would have become a nightmare.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, like you're not wrong.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not wrong.
I don't want to be like, you guys are idiots. You should have done this.
We honestly, the nightmare that would have become after saving that would have been not worth it. Because all the CIP and everything, because we turned that system around the next day and they did another triple batch on it. Like we couldn't afford to clean all of our hot liquor, cold liquor, and all those tanks. Yeah, so honestly, it's a really good question. It's we just couldn't shut down the brewery for a day to do it.
They use like an empty fermenter. They use a holding tank.
With our fermenters are through process piping through our wall. Yeah, so that's not an option. We can't run a 10-foot hose.
You answered my question thoroughly. Thank you.
It's a legit good question because a lot of breweries are doing that. That's what they're doing.
And home breweries can do it easier than.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's fine,
save your sparge and use that to mash in.
Yeah,
with
if you want to make a barley
and you
wine.
get an instant 30-point specific gravity bump on
Yeah, if
your
we're doing two
everything.
batches,
Yeah, it's perfect. We just couldn't do it. Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
It's insane.
So then you add candy sugar.
Yeah, so Belgian candy sugar, and then just epic amounts of maltodextrin, and then just so much oxygen. All the oxygen.
So how far into fermentation are you still oxygenating?
Every day for 3 days.
Wow.
We got through our carb stone. So because so our 40 barrel tanks are mostly they're unit tanks, but they're mostly just fermenters.
Okay.
So they don't have carb stones in them. So we send those to brewery tanks. But our 15 barrel tanks, they all have carb stones because they have to be packaged out of there, right? So we just oxygenate through the carb stone for a minute.
That works?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Whatever works.
Yeah.
This beer was kind of a nightmare. I mean,
it sounds like it, dude. Jesus Christ.
The boys at Moxa know.
Boys.
I'm not,
They're a bunch of boys.
I'm not saying anything that's not obvious, but this beer took us 6 weeks. It took 4 weeks in primary.
Oh, wow.
Then we had
To
to
get
hit
down.
just to get it down to somewhere that was drinkable.
How do you know that it's petered out? I mean, I guess that's how you just wait 4 days or whatever.
Know. Because you know.
Yeah. Were you disappointed that it didn't go lower on its own?
Honestly, this beer had 67% attenuation with our Cal Ale yeast, and that's pretty good. That's not as high as I expected, but also when I came down to it, I was like, oh yeah, this is basically all we could hope for this fucking
because what's the ABV
for this giant beer? So this is 15.5.
No wonder the yeast gave up.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty good for Cal Ale too.
Well,
right?
that's on the high end, I think, for Cal Ale.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I mean, but that also that whole alcohol tolerance thing is kind of like a misnomer. If you
sure.
Yeah,
this beer seems a little bit outside your normal genre, right? I mean, it's just.
I don't know.
Did Derek get you in a headlock and say we're going to make a big stout, or
I mean, a little bit. We teamed up with Moxa, and that's what they're really known for. So we wanted to really kind of give it our all and do what they're what they're best with.
I thought you guys do kind of pastry stouts also.
A little bit, but not really. This is definitely our biggest. We've never taken 6 weeks on a beer before.
Yeah,
and this was pretty insane. It wasn't a lager. We've never taken 6 weeks on a beer that wasn't a
good clarification.
Lager. Yeah,
that no one bought.
Yeah, but the 6 week long 15.5% beer was stress inducing. I think everyone at the brewery was stressed out. Yeah. I don't think any one of us was not worried about the beer, but I think we're happy with how it turned out. It's just,
it tastes great.
It smells like chocolate cake.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Bev's like, yeah.
It's
I'm gonna try it. My first
Christmas beer,
imperial pastry stout one.
Yeah, it's really sweet, but I think that's what people want in their pastry stouts now. It's just
of course,
a really really sweet beer. And that's just kind of
that's sweet.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it makes me grateful for the 15.5%.
Yes,
because that really helps cut through the heavy mouthfeel and the sugar.
If anything, it keeps you from drinking it faster because if it wasn't that sweet, you might drink it faster. And it is 15.5%.
Yeah,
that's no joke. Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out the flavors because there's kind of a lot happening.
It's got a long finish, really long.
Yes, and so I apologize for that, but it's
there's so much
taking me a while.
Malt sugars that it kind of carries through and just reminds me of chocolate cake batter.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So you're gonna get salmonella from it?
Maybe. Are there eggs in it?
No eggs.
Can there be?
Not that we added, at least.
Oh, okay.
There could be eggs. I don't know.
Those Moxa boys.
Yeah, those Moxa boys.
Those boys. Love them.
Oh, Rockland boys.
This is
yeah, it's a lot, dude.
It's a lot. It's
okay. I mean, you don't have to say nice things just because we're here.
No,
it's fine.
Trust me, I won't. But
no, we're just sharing our own experiences. Seems hot on the tongue a little bit. When you after the swallow,
I get
the 15% really quick.
15%.
I get it.
Honestly, I don't get the alcohol until it hits my stomach, and then it kind of just is hanging out.
I taste it. Yeah, I taste it.
Yeah, it's got a real middle palate.
Like mid palate. Yeah, exactly. It's not back or front, but it definitely is mid. It's just on the top of the tongue.
I don't get it. I surprisingly, it's dried. Stop distracting me, Beverly. God. It's like dry. Like it's not a residual sweet. It's not like a barley wine or whatever. For 15.5%, it does kind of have either like a tannin thing or something to clean it up, where it's it's not hanging out on my tongue all the time. I still get the flavors.
Either it's the alcohol or the roasted grains are just the right amount to where they kind of help, like the astringency helps just dry it out.
Yeah. I mean, these beers are all over Twitter or Instagram.
They're
all over Instagram, dude.
Are there cocoa nibs and vanilla in this also?
Yeah. So cocoa nibs and then vanilla 3 different ways. Yeah.
How many?
What
are the ways?
That begs some questions.
Which is bizarre because Moxa just came out with a 3-way vanilla, and it's not related to this. So we actually had to use for this. We used a pound of Tahitian. 3/4 of a pound of Madagascar bourbon vanilla powder, and then just to bump it up, we used some Madagascar bourbon single fold extract. So that's like the cooking grade extract.
Yeah. All right, so how was that introduced into the beer?
Right.
And the fermenter?
What's that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. All cold.
On the cold side?
Yeah, all cold.
All cold and ground up or just masticated anyway?
So for the beans, I'll slice them down halfway and then chop them into for a whole bean, like maybe 15 pieces.
Whatever, you express it.
So 10 centimeter pieces, right? And then the powder is powder, and then the single fold extract was just liquid, obviously.
Hop stack then and thrown in or just on?
No, actually all free.
Just cast.
All free, just to get them as much exposure as possible.
All right, great.
Also, us homebrewers don't use powder. It's a nightmare. It expresses really well, but it is a nightmare to get out of your beer. So if you can't cold crash that shit very well, it is.
It doesn't just dissolve. I mean, it's probably a dumb question, but it doesn't just disintegrate?
No, it's like coffee grounds, but smaller and gets through everything. It's a nightmare. So don't use that.
Cool tip.
So if you get a chance to use I would use vanilla grounds for these milkshake beers that we've been doing, and also, but because you can see them. In a dark beer, you can't see them, and then all of a sudden they're just in your mouth. So, yeah, in a pale beer, use vanilla grounds. They work great, but they're kind of notoriously hard to keep out of your finished beer. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I see a ton of people on Instagram drinking these not imperial, but just pastry stouts in general. There's a guy I follow who chugs them.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Actually, shout out Black Beer Travelers.
I'm gonna
dude who just pops
like a bad idea.
Just pops imperial or pastry stouts and a bunch of big ABV 8 ABVs and over and just chugs them. That's his thing on Instagram.
Is what makes it a pastry stout the high finishing gravity and also typically vanilla and chocolate?
Good question. Trevor, answer
I'm no
that.
expert on that.
Answer that right now.
Who is? I'm not the guy.
I think Tasty's got this.
No, I think Trevor has it.
I don't define that style. I could never.
Honestly, I think with a pastry stout, you're just trying to get it to taste like some type of dessert. So I think a lot of the byproduct of it remaining sweet and yada 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 goes along.
So many
with
Seinfeld references.
I know. Yeah, sorry. It goes along with
Seinfeld?
it being a dessert, so it has to be sweet. It has to be so high ABV you can't chug it. And
I got that.
I tell you what, I got your guy, Black Beer Travelers on Instagram.
You can't have
he will chug the shit out of that.
You can't have a pastry stout that's 5%. That doesn't make sense.
No.
Yeah, because that would be weird. It's got to be some absurd amount. It's got to be some absurd amount. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't make up the style. Somebody fucking probably on the
whatever. We don't know.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
That's my favorite phrase. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
that's how I'd respond. Yeah.
And that's okay. It's okay to not know, right?
Actually, I want
the penalty.
I want the state of Vermont to say, no, we claim that you can't fucking say that.
I've heard something about Miami being responsible or Florida being responsible. I don't
Cigar
know.
City, maybe. I don't know, because they would do something weird like that.
Yeah. I'm not even pointing fingers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard that Florida's.
How dare you?
To hell with it, dude.
I don't know.
I blame Florida.
Fucking Minnesota. Pick some random fucking thing. Goddamn Oklahoma.
Hey, don't blame the land of diabetes.
Yeah. I think Trevor started it, to be honest with you.
That seems like his thing.
He seems like something he would do.
Yeah.
Fucking Trevor, dude.
God damn it.
How's the Sacramento beer scene? fellas, boys. Is it cool?
No, you go.
The Burning Boys.
You go. Okay, fine. I'll talk. It's okay. I don't
Trevor would have to sit up at a 90-degree angle to speak.
I don't know. It's good. I feel like it's weird to be a part of like the old guard in Sacramento now because we're only 6 years old, but like so many breweries are closed.
You have that many new breweries where it's like you guys are just
we're like,
the old dudes.
We're like the old guys.
They're probably in the 20th percentile in terms of age.
We're only 6 years old. Like that's insane. Yeah. But no, I think the beer scene's improving. I think a lot of brewers are starting to get together and like really work on like making all of our beers better. And I think we're working together to like a rising tide raises all ships.
Oh my God,
so
yes. Oh yeah.
Even flagships.
We're all working together. It's Sacramento hasn't had always the best reputation for being like accepting of other breweries
or desirable.
So I think a lot of breweries in the area.
I'm just kidding.
I live there. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just talk shit about my hometown. It's fine.
All right. Well, I mean,
no.
You don't want to say that.
It's more like the fact that we're realizing that like, oh no, we need to like all work together and like that if we all do better, we all do better. Like it's good.
No, that's a national theme too. That's what the American Home Brewers, the Brewers Association has that same theme.
Yeah. So like getting rid of like any type of bullshit,
any sort of
like,
bad beer in the craft beer market.
Get over it. Like,
so how do you work with another brewery to elevate the quality of your beers? You guys share? Do you guys hang out? Is there a guild?
Yeah, I give honest feedback, and I ask for honest feedback.
Yeah.
And the best way to do is just share honest feedback. If someone doesn't like one of my beers, or if they want honest feedback on one of theirs, I give it. And I think it's really important if someone's like, "Hey, give me honest feedback." I'm going to, and when I say give me honest feedback, I expect.
You mean that?
I expect it. Like I tear my beer apart. Like give it to me. Like I'm asking for it. That's what I want.
Tear me apart.
Tear Trevor apart. He wants honest feedback right now.
Tear me apart.
It's not a joke, right? Like it matters. Like
when I walk into a new brewery for the first time, the first thing I say is, if you ever want some honest feedback, I may not be an expert, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
That way, if I walk in like 6 months later and they're like, "Oh, you don't like our beers," that's how they would interpret that same statement.
No, totally agree. Like I don't claim to be an expert, but like you ask me for an honest feedback, I'll give you an honest opinion.
Not to be feed my own ego. Just to help you make better beer.
Yeah, don't lie to people.
Yeah, it's just like
Warren,
how can you make this beer better? Well,
let me give you honest feedback.
I've been waiting for this.
That's what you do for it, right?
Cool,
so, yeah.
Speaking of good beer, Neshaminy Creek Brewing has been brewing award-winning beers in Croydon, Pennsylvania since 2012. Proud winners of 4 Philly Beer Scene Magazine Awards for Brewer of the Year and 3 for Brewery of the Year.
Go Birds.
2-time GABF Vinastyle Lager medal in 2013 and 16. Also, they won a bronze for their smoked lager in 2016 and 17. They have a big-assed tap room. Like, the ass of the tap room is big. It's a big-assed. With 24 beers on tap, 18 of which are rotating and seasonal and or limited. A variety of beer styles from hoppy double IPAs to lagers, saisons, sour beers. If you can't make it to Croydon because you don't know where it is, hit up their second location in Jenkintown called Burrow Brew House, which features a full menu and 22 beers on tap, including guest taps from local breweries, meaderies, as well as Pennsylvania cider. Check out NeshamonyCreekBrewing.com for all them Johns.
Honest feedback, that Smoked John.
That was really good beer.
Well, you know what?
Great.
Here's some honest feedback for Jeremy at Neshaminy Creek. He's told me 3 separate times, "Oh, what's your address so I can send you a bunch of beers?"
Maybe you should tell him your address.
Here's my address. And then like 6 months later, "Hey man, you send me your address." Motherfucker.
Your neighbor's got your delivery.
Whatever. All right. Kyle and Trevor from New Glory Craft Brewery.
Welcome to the show, Trevor.
Trevor, are you ready? We're going to start the interview right now.
Sorry.
That's all right. How long have you been around, man?
5 years.
Oh,
I points to Kyle.
Yeah. What the fuck? I'm like laughing. We're 5.5. Yeah, 5.5 years. 5.5 years.
But he knew.
Yeah.
I mean, nailed it.
Sorry, I was laughing.
Murdered it.
Sorry.
Murdered it. All right, boys, we're going to stay on and do some Twitter game.
Okay, dope.
So if you want to hang out, that's fine. If not, then get out. I don't care.
You tell me to get out. I don't know.
I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that.
Okay, dope. I'll hang out.
Okay, the Twitter game is brought to you today by Hidden Moon, which is Moonlight Meadery, of course. They're a longtime supporter of the Brewing Network, and now they're looking to bring Michael Fairbrother's Braggots to market. You can help them get started by joining their Lunar Society over at Hidden Moon there with 12 Society-only mead releases, 4 braggots, a hooded sweatshirt, a pair of tasting glasses, plus discounts, and much more. To learn more about it, go to moonlightmeadery.com and check out the Hidden Moon area on their website. Good stuff over there. Okay, Twitter game was, what was it again, Warren? What did we learn from...
Yeah, now that 2018 is wrapping up, in an effort to maybe be better people...
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Twitter could remind us what we learned this year.
Okay, all right.
Are you guys actually active Twitter users?
No, Twitter I think is a cesspool.
Once
dude.
a week?
But Instagram is great.
You do this game just for the listeners then?
Yeah, because there's other people who like Twitter, but
you can't hit on chicks that way.
No, Twitter is like...
All right, well, Stacy's like hitting like that.
Twitter's for people to either yell at big corporations or for Russians to come in. Yeah, right. No one cares on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter sucks.
Okay.
But anyway, our Twitter game.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
Sorry.
That's what happens.
Honest feedback.
Let's see. Chad Lanning says, I learned that you still need to not make hazy IPA. Proper cellar practice wins.
Okay, well, that's not actually
that
how
is
that
something
works.
to carry forward.
We spend a lot of time making our beer hazy. It takes so much effort. Like, I don't know when asked for my opinion, but like, this is fucking ridiculous. This whole thing needs to fucking stop.
It's never going to stop, dude.
It takes so much effort to keep a beer hazy. It takes so much fucking effort.
And think about all that effort being pushed to make a nice, clear lager. Wouldn't that be better?
Here, Tasty, I know you know this. How much effort it takes to make like a wit beer or a nice hef beautifully hazy? It takes a lot of fucking work, and the yeast becomes a flavor on its own. We take a lot of effort to keep the yeast in suspension to make it a
flavorful beer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wasted effort.
Well, it doesn't sound like Kyle learned that.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, whoever dude who said that was. Sorry. God damn. Also, you're wrong.
Well, we won't put that in the running then. Paul Wilcox said Justin is immortal or immoral. You choose. The man appears to cheat death. I, for one, welcome our new chain-smoking overlord.
Who chain smokes?
Justin.
I mean, if you call 4 packs a day chain smoking, I don't know what to tell you.
Mike Shoemaker says, any brewer you walk into will have a hazy IPA or 3. They're all meh and will give you the smooth move the next morning if you drink too many. They are not IPAs. They are not IPAs at 40 IBUs. Lies. Which, I mean, I guess that's what he learned.
They do make you poop, though. There's no question about that. Yeah,
Really?
they
I'll put it in.
Oh, good. I never noticed
That's a
that.
true story.
Yeah, they make you poop.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Taco Bell.
Yeah, also
a
the Taco
poop
Bell.
story.
Have hazy without Taco Bell, you'll still poop.
I thought it was all from eating all the poo.
It's true story.
No, it's a...
Me eating all the poo makes me poo.
Don't eat poo.
That's
Most of the food I eat turns into poo.
That's what you think.
Guys, don't eat poo.
Sebastian says that we learned that the only thing you can rely on in this life is the Adam and Eve offer code.
That's really good. Is Adam and Eve still a sponsor?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You want to do the live read?
Until this show comes on.
He might be on Suicide Watch.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so good.
Joshua Lashofsky says, you guys learn things? Bevo has been there for years now.
Oh, wow. Calling her out.
What's up?
I don't really know what that means, though. Like, I don't really understand it.
He meant of all the people he would think would learn something, it
so
would be her.
unhappy right
and she's still here, so clearly she's not a learner.
Yeah, no, I'm not angry at him. I'm contemplating his words deeply.
Introspection.
Would you like, Bev, to put in your final 2 weeks right now?
Do it.
Yeah, there's about 2 weeks
I wanted to put in my final 2 weeks 2 years ago.
Oh, there you go.
Why haven't you?
That's being
Because
kind.
I need money.
It's in the mail.
Dave Schleed says, we learned that a booger will never beat 2 squirrels in a knife fight.
Well, that's just wrong.
We did?
Where did we learn that from?
I don't know.
I don't
But
know
I want to learn that.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Well, that's a mess.
How dry is that booger?
Don't.
Is it one of those
can
pointy
get really
ones?
sharp.
That
That's a good
could
point.
matter.
They get really sharp.
And then the brewer of Seville, I think this is our last one, says, in Chechnya, we learned life still suck in Chechnya.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Well, well, we're regular listeners.
Sorry, Chechnyan listeners.
That is a takeaway.
I'm really sorry your life sucks, man. That sucks, dude. Sorry, but maybe move out or something? I don't know.
All right, so here are our four ones that I wrote down, right? Paul is that Justin is immortal and he chain smokes. Mm-hmm. Do we like that?
That one's pretty good.
I mean, those are facts.
That's not even close to the right. That's not even close. That's not even running.
No, I do enjoy that. Perfect. That's pretty good.
Mike with the hazy IPAs give you the quote smooth move.
Also true. That's also true.
Sebastian says the only thing you can rely on is the Adam and Eve offer code. And then Joshua basically going, why hasn't Bevo learned anything by leaving?
Why have I not?
Everything.
Can I put my I'm politicking a little bit here.
Do it.
But I'm a big fan of the Adam Eve offer code.
Yeah,
that was really funny.
Yeah.
Really
Should we just give that one?
Well, any hands?
That was my top.
Is it most accurate or is it just also the funniest?
Whatever you want.
I thought it was cool. It's most. And it has. They've been on the thing for years.
Who's the winner?
Sebastian, there you go, dude. You win. Congratulations.
As someone who literally just listened to that
Send me an email.
years was the Adam and Eve code. I'm just like, I gotta check this place out. Apparently.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We still got
I checked it out. I used the code.
Damn, bro. What'd you pick up?
Some stuff. Don't worry about it. May or may not have been for me or for my wife. It's fine. My wife.
Or for both of you.
You're a giving kind of guy.
Hey guys, it's none of your business, okay? This isn't what Adam and Eve is about, okay?
Don't worry.
None of your guys' business what I use.
We can log on to the account and look at what you bought.
Exactly.
Right now.
How many years ago? Because I'll pull it up right now.
There were plugs and DVDs, but it's fine.
Oh, goddamn.
Sorry, guys.
Trevor, do you want to do the Adam and Eve live read?
Jesus. All right.
Yeah, he should.
There you go.
All right.
Get right on the microphone, though. Get right on the microphone, though.
Get up on the
What am I reading?
The words
on the page.
Jesus. Adam and Eve.
I'll read that.
No. I want Trevor to do it. I honest to God, want Trevor to do it.
Adam and Eve is determined to help you spice things up in the bedroom. And they are backing up. Oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm out.
Nice try, bud.
That was a great start.
Anyway, go to adamandeve.com and you'll save 50% off. No, we don't have to do the whole thing. I know, right? Here, give it back. I'll because I need to double check the code.
Work.
I like
go
the
to
fact that you gave that to him. You're like, oh, dude, he's gonna be so lost.
No, dude, it'll be great.
So much.
It's written all in caps, so I feel like it would be fine.
Super easy.
Yeah. Go to adamandeve.com, use code BNARMY. You get a bunch of free stuff. You get a naughty movie at 50% off or anything else, adult toy, whatever. 50% off, free shipping, adamandeve.com.
I love it. It's great.
Kyle.
You might even get a big O kit.
Let's do this.
Maybe.
I literally have used
It's
that.
there.
I'm just saying, I literally have used that code. It's there.
I've used that too.
I'm legitimately not lying. Beersmith I used. Also Adam and Eve I also used.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thanks for supporting the BN.
Yeah. Yep. I got
all right, and last but not least, while you're on the internet, go to Drink Drake's, drinkdrakes.com. Check out Drake's. They're our friends over there in San Leandro. They got a place in Sacramento now, too. They're kind of all over the place and drinking a lot, making a lot of good beer. So if you're in the area and you want to know where to get Drake's beers, go to drinkdrakes.com and find out.
John's making those good beers.
John's making the Johns, dude.
Oh, what all those Johns?
All right, everybody. Kyle and Trevor from New Glory Craft Brewery. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
And being the boys today. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, boys.
And good luck up in Granite Bay or Rockland or whatever where the hell it is, dude. Yeah, who knows, dude? Who really cares?
Yeah, who cares?
All right, we are off for the rest of 2018.
Oh, have a good year, people.
Yeah, I want you all to have a good year and have a good 2019. I don't even know when we're back, Bev. I think like the second week of January.
It's
14th. We get 3 weeks off.
We get some time.
Yeah.
But if you're listening live, we're going to have Dr. Homebrew here in a couple days on this very same network.
What?
Brew Strong is tomorrow. Sour Hour is Wednesday. Dr. Homebrew is Wednesday. I will be here for all of them.
You're the best.
Maybe Twitter's right. She doesn't learn.
That's right.
I don't learn.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and thanks a lot for being a supporter of the Brewing Network. And, cheers, man.
Great as his charity.